Well, the Vietnam Open has come and gone, and it was the story of the subs in the final of MLP, where Willy Chung proved to be an incredible addition to the Northern Crocs, who took out the Vietnam Open to be crowned MLP champions. We saw some crazy pickleball. You know how I know that? There were 7 dream breakers over the weekend, which has to be some sort of record. On the PPA side, well, it appears there's a new king and queen in town, with Joey Wild and Danielle Townsend taking out their 3rd consecutive mixed doubles title, defeating who some would say are the former king and queen, Mitch Hargraves and Amelia Schmidt. This event wasn't without controversy, though. From unsafe courts on day one to good to go the next, we had a very high-profile player have a run-in with a team mascot, paddle throws, paddle snaps, and after midnight finishes. This one had it all. We also saw a bombshell announcement with PWR signing an exclusive partnership with the NPL that's going to shake up the player pool in Australia. With so much to talk about, this could be our best episode yet, so let's get into it.
Slam Jam with Coach K, tell you now. Whipping up the court, bringing the rhythm and mad fun. Learning, playing, and laughing, we never stop. Pickleball podcast, taking it to the top. To the top.
Colin Cougar, your post-op, you're back playing pickleball already. Tell us how it feels, mate, to be back.
Mate, 3 weeks it's been since this meniscus surgery. I'm already back on the courts thanks to you guys motivating me and kind of forcing me. But yeah, it's good to be back, not only here on the podcast, but also back on the courts playing with the sport that we all love.
Mate, we saw you. We talked about the Doc Martin knee brace, and I saw it yesterday at Paddle. You're moving really good.
Not bad, hey.
Yeah, you were monstering at the net.
Like I said earlier, my mind tells me not to, but my body, it just goes for it, man.
You do go hard in the paint, I got to say that much. And Ty Iteraldo, the only man to tip the Northern Crocs. Can you believe it, Colin?
Wowee.
I know.
How did you do it?
It's just my former life, man. I was a punting champion of California. Yeah, the #1 sports bettor in the state.
Wow, it really shows.
Hey, Google it.
It was an incredible pick.
Yeah.
Anything you want to
No, man, just pure intuition.
confess?
No, man, I pick winners. Was it winners pick winners?
That's true. A
Winners
good friend of
pick
ours
winners.
said that.
That should actually be on the
Yeah.
soundboard.
That should be
Yeah.
on the soundboard.
Yeah.
Well, I'm here to tell the truth.
Yes, thank God, Adam. Please tell the truth.
There's no truth. The truth is, the people I picked that were published won.
Let's just say Adam sent a group text and said, hey, guys, can we all text me back who you believe is going to win the tournament?
And give us a little spiel as to why you think.
Yes, and a little spiel. And if you want to use ChatGPT, by all means, use it.
I can't remember saying that, but two of the 3 of us use ChatGPT. I'll let the viewers
Maybe-
decide.
Hey, it's there. It's a
Maybe
resource.
ChatGPT picked the Crocs.
Hey,
Never know.
no.
It's AI.
So I came back and said I would like to go Surge, but you've already picked. Adam already let us
Yeah, we
know
both
he had
picked
Surge,
Surge.
and I love Surge, and I do believe next tournament they're going to be back into the semis. But I didn't want to cross paths with Adam. I wanted us.
You said you wanted to be different.
I wanted to be different.
And I think I said to you, mate, there's nothing more important than being right, so don't be different. But
You
you
did
still
say
went
that.
with, who did you go with again, sorry?
Brown Daddy. I mean, I thought for sure Brown Daddy, Sarah, the rest of the team, they were going to pull that out, and was I wrong?
Big time.
0-4 the first game.
Yeah.
But they backed it up with 4-0, but unfortunately they're one game away to getting into the next round. And then I should pull up the text, but Ty said...
I've got screenshots.
Oh,
No, we
can
don't
you
need
read
it.
them?
Yeah.
No, we don't need it.
So literally...
Point is, I'm now perfect in this game.
Well, you have been perfect. Like, this is the first time we did this sort of like bold prediction where
Exactly.
we posted it on the
Yeah.
Instagram.
100%.
I put together I was Canva master,
You
samurai,
killed that.
and I just put our pictures up there, and I went with our profile pictures, which you gave me a hard time about. You thought I picked a really good picture of myself, and thank you for complimenting
Oh, it's like
me.
8 years old. You're trying to catfish our audience.
2019. Anyway, let's go to the screenshots. You said no, I'm going Crocs, and I was like, okay, the Crocs. That's a bit of a left field
Yeah,
one.
I've never heard you talk about the Crocs, nor you don't know any players on the Crocs. Okay.
So
I
much
should've.
so.
In fact, one
So
of them
much
even
so.
stayed the night at my house.
So much
Of
so
course.
that when he gave us his quote, he literally said, I said, why are you picking the Crocs? And you wrote, Andy is an angry little leprechaun and he's going to get the job done. Now, when you said he
Yeah, he gave
and
it a
Andy, I was like, he's picked the wrong team, hasn't he?
Typo.
He meant the Vipers.
The vibes.
Oh, for sure.
I don't know.
But it was too late.
I don't know. Hey, you know what, Colin? This kind of reminds me of something. Remember when we were in New Zealand and we got that money and we kept doubling it down and doubling it down, and then there was that one time we thought we were going to go red, but we moved it to black, and it was black, and you know what I mean. The point of that was we won, no matter kind of what our intentions were.
A little bit of luck.
With a little bit of luck, exactly. So, yeah, but history, it's been written. I picked the Crocs. That was what was posted on our Instagram page. And guess what?
It's unbelievable.
And
I can't believe it
Yeah.
didn't blow up in his face. It
Well,
went the opposite to blowing up in his face.
And to kind of back him here, Andy is a player on the Crocs. Now, maybe he meant to say she is a little leprechaun.
That's true. Get on my level.
I had the chat. I said, I'll give you a bit of wiggle room here, but are you talking about Andy Horridge? And he's like, oh, haha, I fucking meant the Vipers, ha ha ha. But let's go with the Crocs.
There we go.
And then he did make a case for the Crocs.
Yes,
He
I
did make a great case.
Exactly.
So
And
we're
it
of course talking about Andy
Full
Digger
tuition.
Savage,
Yes.
female, the debutante.
Man,
for
I
MLP.
got a lot to talk about her.
Yeah,
she
she
was
was
a
phenomenal.
rock star. She, to me, is the perfect Robin to Summer, who I see as the Batman. They're a good duo. She knows her spot. And I think, on the record, she's the first NPL player to win an MLP event.
Ooh, that is a very true statement.
Look, I think before we get into any more pickleball, it is my pleasure to introduce, as always, our captain, you don't want to say king, do you? Or our president, our fearless leader,
Social
our
media
spiritual-
rock star.
our shaman, Mr. Adam Hall from the Gold Coast Mortgage Brokers. And he gives himself the, what do you even call those things?
Hallelujah.
Sound bites.
Soundbite. Yeah, you gave yourself a soundbite. Anyway, Adam, what is the absolute best part of your pickleball game? What do you think is the best part of your pickleball
And
game?
it can't be the lob.
How I get down and scorpion. I think
I
we
would
all
agree.
Yeah.
He drop locks
Like
a
a-
pocket like I've seen at a strip club back in Atlanta.
Yeah, he's like a. How do you do that? It's like a squat with an overhand slam type of thing.
It's what I feel very comfortable with. Not the squatting. That's a bit. How you going? It's just overhead. I like that.
If Holly was a stripper, what do you reckon his name would be? The stage name. I'm gonna say White Skittle because he's so mysterious.
I'm not going to come up with anything better than that.
Oh, here comes White Skittle, and also obviously Eminem's already taken.
No, I'd be misbehave.
Yes, you would.
Wow. Okay.
Boys, can we talk about our wonderful tournament? Slam Jam. It's obviously going down. It's on the Saturday, the 8th to Sunday, the 9th of December. It's going to be KDV Sport Gold Coast. Colin, tell us about the divisions that we've got.
Mate, I can't wait for this event. Obviously, it's a one annual event that we've been doing for 4 years now. Tournaments are going to stick to the same. We're going to do, obviously, men's doubles, women's doubles, and mixed doubles. Obviously, we're going to have different divisions inside of those divisions, so intermediate, beginning, and advanced. But the fun two, I should say, is going to be the racquet triathlon, where we are going to pick the most elite players that sign up. We're going to cap it at 24 teams, and pretty much you're going to play tennis, then you're going to play padel, and then you're going to play pickleball. And we are going to figure out which team is the best racket team in Australia at Slam Jam. Now, while that's happening, we also have my favorite, which I think I'm pretty favored to win, which is beer pong. Now, I am a Queensland State champion beer pong player. I don't know if you guys know this. Lindsay and I won $1,000
Wow.
playing beer pong at Henchman. That would have been 2 years ago.
In Miami there.
Yes, Miami, yeah.
Yeah.
I was probably one of the highlights of my life.
Right.
And Lindsay hit the last shot, and it went crazy. So if anyone wants to challenge Lindsay and I, we'll be there. And that will be as well 24 teams. And it'll be a tournament style single game elimination. But it's all happening December 7th that night. And then obviously it's going to carry over December 8th.
Is it December 7th? Well, it's Saturday. Oh no, you're right. I've cooked it. It should be the 7th is the Saturday.
Yep.
And the 8th is Sunday. I've gone with 8th and 9th.
That's
so
a little bit of Monday
you might be
morning
carrying
action.
on. Yeah.
glad we're talking about it.
Yes. What's it called when an AFL team after the championship game the next day?
Mad Monday.
Mad
Mad
Monday.
Monday.
You might be having a Mad Monday.
Monday. Yeah. So let's just clarify this. It's actually Saturday the 7th of December to Sunday the 8th of December.
And if you want to keep partying, you'll be with Adam on the 9th.
And we've got 3 hours of free alcohol. We've got music, we've got beer pong, which you were talking about, and the racquet triathlon. Ty, what are you looking forward to most?
Ooh. What am I looking forward to? Well, it's going to be the players' party,
Yes.
right? Now that's on the Saturday night,
Yep.
right? And we're going to have that right near the paddle little center there.
Yep.
Absolutely.
Live music. Who's the band? Is it AC/DC?
DJ Cocoa Butters.
DJ Cocoa Butters. Yes.
Have we got both? Have we got a live band and a DJ? I'm pretty sure it's in the budget.
Hey, give me a cowbell and I'll be live.
I think you've actually made your own. You're like an official DJ now.
I am a
You
DJ.
even put in our group chat like a sort of what do you call it? Like a DJ riff or something like that. And you're really upset with Adam because it's not being played.
Yes.
Weren't you upset about that?
So-
That's just the first thing you said today.
I did say this
Yeah.
because I gave him a list. Obviously, we have a soundboard now, and we're all excited about it. And we
Yeah.
all want to add a little different things here. So I went out of my way
Mm-hmm.
one late night, and I put together my little sound clip, little DJ style sound clip. And I thought he would have easily put this on it because it's the best thing that's ever hit Slam Jam.
Because it's like Czech Republic, like top 10.
It's banging right now.
Oh, yeah, audio
Well,
clips.
what I
on
would
it.
like to do, because we're getting a lot of DMs from
Yeah.
our followers, I would like them to decide which intro music would they like. DJ Cocoa Butters' new one, or do we stick to Owen's Gothic Slam Jam emo?
Wow.
How
okay.
you going?
Okay.
I can't believe you're going up. I can't believe you're going after Owen like
I'm
that.
not going out there.
And sweat into our intro, and you have made something that's what I could best describe as like a mashup.
Okay. Do we have it on
Were
the
you
board
under
yet?
the influence of anything
I
when
can
you
I
made
can
this?
play it.
All right,
I am that good at technology.
Thank
that
you.
I have
All right,
I
everyone.
Got you your moment.
Thanks, buddy.
Here we
Everyone.
go.
Do you want to and anything more you want to say about your song?
Oh, well, it took me, a few hours to download these little sound bites, put them together. Obviously,
I know what that's like.
I'm a 90s baby, so a little bit of rap is kind of my background. And let's see how we go. I'm actually an 88 baby, but this is 90s classic.
Best of luck to all listeners. Hide your ears.
Hey, excuse me, do you know where the pickleball tournament is?
You're in the right place. You want beer or no?
Oh, no, we're fine.
We're actually the athletes in today's tournament.
No kidding. Us too.
Hey ladies, y'all ready to stop? And y'all wanna know why? 'Cause it's the Slam Jam, fellas. Y'all ready to stop? Y'all wanna know why? It's time to Slam Jam.
Boom, shaka
Oh my
laka.
God.
I had to hire those guys to come up with that.
Wow. Even the little horns at the end. You made that.
I made
You
those.
made
horns.
that.
I had to bring my trumpet in.
This is
How good is that? All right, fans, everyone that listens, please on the comments, let us know if you want us to use that as the intro or stick to the current one.
That's
Okay.
incredible.
That was exciting.
Yeah. I mean, there was lots going on. Felt like I was eating an ice cream cake all of a sudden. Like in my belly,
cool.
my body just sort of was reacting like to lots of different sensory overload type.
I mean, ice cream sandwich to you is like a everyday occurrence.
It's an everyday occurrence. Yeah, that absolutely is.
With your Milo on top.
Adam, talk to us about the sign-up procedure for Slam Jam.
Yes. So if you
Is it controversial?
Not yet. Not yet.
Okay.
So there is a process because we're instead of using pickleball brackets, we're going to be using swish. Now, lots of players actually use swish, for rec play.
Yep.
And it is actually really, really good at holding a tournament on. to enter scores and so on. And,
It's
and
quick, it's
control the
fast. You put
tournament.
the games in, and boom, it shoots out who you're playing next.
So in order to have everyone sign up via Swish, before you do that, you have to have a Duper account. So for all the beginner participants in our tournament, if you haven't got a Duper account, you'll need to create a Duper account. That's very easy. You can do that. Just, www.duper.com. Done. DUPR. We're going to put a video out on how easy that is. And then you've got to go into Swish. And to sign up for the tournament, basically you've got to also have an account. So it's very easy to create an account if you don't have an account. And then our tournament, our link for our tournament is actually in our bio. So you can find that very easily. You go on the Swish and you click in, and then you're able to register. So you're able to register for either the mixed or the gender doubles, whatever you're doing. If you want to do both, so you can do both. So what's going to happen is when you go to register for one, you're going to need to know who you're playing with and what their Duper ID is, because you're going to be the one that actually registers for both you and your partner, and therefore you'll pay for both you and your partner. So when you go and do that successfully, next time, if you want to enter both events, so if you want to enter mixed and gender, when you go in to do the second one, let's say you've registered for mixed already, you're going to do gender, you need to know your partner's details again, complete with their Duper ID. Once you put that in, it'll actually recognize you have already registered. So therefore you'll get a discount. So for the first tournament, for the first event, you pay $70. For the second one, you pay $20.
Well,
So all up, it's $90.
So you need to sort out that payment between you and your friend who you're about to play
Yeah,
with.
so you basically just go and pay, and then you go and hit up your mate for their $70.
That sounds fucking simple.
Now-
there is a Swish fee of $5, but the actual tournament fees themselves are $70 plus $20 if you want to go and participate in the second event.
Now, what if we get a message from, my name's Karen, and I'm Pickleball Bracket's #1 fan. I never used Swish in my life. Is there any chance like you have some kind of video that I can watch to figure this out?
We do, Karen. It's going to be something we can text you
Oh,
if you like.
I don't have text. I just do pagers.
Okay, you're going to have to run to Karen's house with your phone
Okay.
and play the video for her.
Wow,
then,
there
Colin.
we go.
So we're working on a video that everyone can watch to make that process a little bit more seamless.
Now, with
But to
this
be
one-
honest, most people aren't even going to need this bloody video.
Fair.
You already
No.
know how to sign up for things. You already know how to do things. This is for people who have never done it before.
What's cool about this is, okay, so you have to know who your partner is going to this. Now, let's go with Adam on this one, because you have to basically ask someone to be your partner. Give us like a little, hey, will you be my partner pickup line? So we can role play this if you want.
Yeah.
Okay, go ahead.
What I do, I'd probably text you
Okay.
saying, "Hey Ty,
Hey.
have you got anything on Saturday the 7th and 8th of December?"
Question mark, question mark, question mark.
That's what your response would be to me.
Yeah, that was exactly.
You don't like don't.
Well, are we texting?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yep. Question mark.
Well, there's this amazing tournament on. It's 4th year running. It's free alcohol. It's got a beer pong tournament and a spicy little event. I'm looking for a partner. I happen to also be one of the hosts, the tournament directors, I guess you could say. I can make sure that things happen, and then I put a wink emoji.
Because I say the text was getting fucking long. In fairness, so
What are you doing?
haha,
Do you want to play?
haha, sounds cool. Am I your first choice or your second choice?
And then I fuck with you and I go, "So who's this?"
Is this a Tinder date?
No, I'd reassure you my first choice.
Okay.
But it like a bomb that's got a timer that's going to explode. It'd also say you've got half an hour to say yes or no before I go to Vish.
Oh, you brought in Brown Daddy right away. I don't know if this is working out, to be honest. And then Ty has left the chat. Okay, cool. So there you go.
Just leave me on scene.
If you're curious and want pickup lines for a partner, message our Instagram page, and Adam will coach you through the process.
Yes.
Because this is going to be a question that I want to ask some professional players. How do they go about approaching other professional players to figure out if they want to team up?
Yeah, well, those guys, they do it very early. Like,
Do they?
I'm talking like a couple of months before the tournament. We're only, 6 weeks away? from ours. 5 maybe. So
They
better
pre-plan.
get your wriggle on, folks, because it is a tournament that you do not want to miss. Ask your friends about it who have participated before. It is the IT tournament of the year. And for those who want to actually get on the trophy, there's a pretty good chance you've got to get on the trophy. In regards to, I don't think we're going to see as many big names competing because there's a lot of international tournaments, one in China in particular. So we've got some names like Sarah Burr on the trophy, Vish on the trophy,
Lucas.
You might not have to encounter them. So if you want to actually
Wes Vine.
if you want to be on a trophy that carries these distinguished names, this is probably your best year to get on that trophy.
Damn.
We're actually on the trophy. You and I.
Well, Adam's on it. He was MVP one year.
On the receipt, because didn't we pay for it?
Well, we would have that. It's on the bottom of it.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. But yeah, it's going to be the best pickleball event you ever participated in. Definitely sign up on Swish if you haven't already. And if you have any issues signing up, just reach out to us. We're happy to help you. But obviously, we are creating a little video to show you. But mark your calendars if they have not been marked. December 7th, December 8th. Come out to Australia's funnest pickleball tournament.
And I'll say, you know what's really cool about this, particularly the Slam Jam? It's a lot of people who've just getting into the sport. You know, they had their little hit with their, on their regular Thursday crew or their Wednesday crew, and they're a little bit nervous to go and play like an Australian Pickleball Open or something like that. This is like the perfect one. I know we got a lot of buddies who've played 3 or 4 times, and now they can actually come and get competitive and be a part of it and go for a trophy. So whoever's listening, if you have friends that are obviously tagging you in pickleball things, so you can starting to see that they're building their interest in pickleball, let them know about the Slam Jam, because that would be the most fun tournament for them where they really feel a part of it. Absolutely. And actually can just celebrate nonstop fuck ups.
100% agree. Well said. Guys, we have a special guest. This seat will stay vacant for not much longer. We're going to go grab him, and when we come back, we're going to have him in that chair, and we'll be introducing him.
Slam Jam!
Good segue, guys.
Allow me to introduce today's in-studio guest, a player wildly regarded as Australia's best. He was the number 7 pick for the Sydney Smash in MLP Australia, having played for the Eastern Rush in Season 1. This fella is in insane form right now, off the back of winning both the mixed doubles title in Vietnam with Danielle, and he also took out the gender doubles title with George Wall. He also had a huge October competing at the prestigious Australian Pickleball Championships, where he won a swag of medals, including 2 gold, a silver, and a bronze, including a very emotional win with one of the all-time greats, Doc Clark, in the split age category. It's Joey Wild.
Joey, welcome to the pod.
Hey boys, how are we?
What do you think of your walk-on music?
Yeah, what do you think about your entry song?
I mean, that was a great intro by Adam, only topped by the intro song.
Everywhere you go, you should get that intro from
if
Adam.
you could
should
pick
just
your own
record
intro
that.
song, because we kind of forced that one on you. When I say we, I mean Colin. But like,
It's a good
if you
choice
had a
by
wish
Colin.
list, if you had a wish list to come onto court every single time, what song would you pick?
And the performer is going to be there live performing for you.
The cheerleaders are going to be there.
Yeah.
Geez, I don't know. Maybe something AC/DC.
Oh,
Maybe
we can-
Rihanna.
Okay.
Big Rihanna fan. So
Okay, well, we
Riri, she'll be coming to the show. Her and ASAP Rocky, her husband. You might want to back off
the
there.
AC/DC guys are big fans of this podcast. Maybe we
They're
can.
huge. Oi, oi, oi.
They're one of our 50 followers.
Definitely.
Really. Anyway,
At least
Joey,
50.
you're back. You just came back from Vietnam
yeah, just got off the plane today actually.
today.
He's
That's
a
it.
jet setter.
Yeah, had a nice little relaxing week in Vietnam after the tournament. So kicked it back with the missus. Yeah.
What's some touristy things to do in Vietnam if we ever travel over there?
Well, we left the resort that we were playing at and went straight to Hanoi. I think Hanoi's got it going on. They've got a crazy good food scene
Hanoi
up
or
there.
Hanoi? Hanoi? You sound very
Two
Queensland.
words actually. Hanoi.
You sound very Queensland. You go Hanoi.
Hanoi. Sorry, I'm not very cultured.
Hanoi.
Yeah, Hanoi.
That's fuck. Not to be confused with fuck.
Nah, here he fucking goes.
Were you at like a resort setting there with the missus and just relaxing and?
The tournament was resort, but after that we just checked into a hotel in Hanoi.
Yep.
Right in the middle of the city. It was crazy. All the scooters whizzing around.
Were you wearing your gold medals around?
No, I wasn't. They went straight in the bag.
Oh, so
That's-
humble.
That would have been a Colin Kugler move for sure.
for sure.
A little G-banger and his gold medals around
Hey,
the pool.
while I'm eating breakfast, it's in my bloody cereal, just dunking in there.
That's why we don't win medals.
The medals for this tournament were actually pretty quality. They were
I
nice
saw.
and heavy.
They were, yeah.
Good little shape
girth.
to them. Lotus flower.
Were they made in
of
Vietnam, you reckon, as opposed to the
Probably.
ones that made in Australia?
Yeah, I think
That's
they
probably
were made in
why
Vietnam.
they were so good. They were so cheap.
I think they were 24 karat gold actually.
Not bad.
Wow.
Well, tell us about Vietnam Open, mate. Let's start with the three-peat. Danny and you, mixed doubles. You've won in Brisbane, Gold Coast, and now Vietnam. You guys are unstoppable.
Yeah, I mean, whenever I'm on the court with Denny, I just feel like we're not going to lose a match. Chuck in Hong Kong in there as well. Actually, we played an event in Hong Kong.
And
last
won
month
that as well?
And won that.
Bloody hell.
So, yeah, we just feel really confident when we're on court together. We trained a lot together this year, and so we kind of know each other's games.
I'll
Who's
say
going to take what ball and all of that.
I was very fortunate to play with Danny just for fun, like a social game. And you played against us, Adam, and she says something that helped, like, motivates you. It's not you. Is it you? When it's like your ball.
Go.
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 She's like,
Go.
yeah, go.
Yeah.
And that's like, normally people say mine, yours, but go is just like, it's motivating. It's like, yeah, go for it. Like, have a hit. And it's just great communication by her. But you've been playing with her 4 tournaments. What's some things how are you guys gelling so well?
I guess our characteristics are similar. We're both out there just having fun, kind of chucking jokes around in the middle of a match. The communication's a big one too. When she's yelling go, you're right, it makes you go and get the ball. We've had some huge highlight points where we've just scrapped the ball out and then somehow gotten on top of the point. But yeah, I think the vibe on court with Danny is great.
Yeah, because she's a force, A lot of, I'll just say when it's mixed doubles, the male will take majority of that court, but you guys share that. I mean, I reckon 60-40, she's ready to take those middle shots just as much as you are as well.
Yeah, her skill level is definitely right up there at the top. And she's happy to take the middle balls, especially, I don't know if you saw the final in Vietnam, I had a bit of a wrist issue, and Danny kind of took all the middle balls in that match.
On a backhand side, right?
Yeah.
Being
She was
middle.
just cooking on those middle balls. And
She's
took over for
without
me.
doubt the best female in mixed by a country mile.
In mixed, yeah.
Big
That's
call,
huge.
man. That's
Now-
okay. Cool.
I don't think that's a huge call. I think that's
That's the right call.
that's the right call.
That's
True
the right
statement.
call.
She's
Actually,
yet to put it together in women's for some
Yeah.
reason, but mixed, she's just
Do you reckon it just comes down to who she's partnering in, say, women's?
potentially. I'm not exactly sure who she's partnered with this year in women's.
Me either, as I throw shade at whoever she's been partnering
Yeah.
with. But I also think, it was funny, I talked to her after Australian Pickleball Championships, and I think she ended up playing in gender with Dora.
Okay.
Remember Dora? And she just found that when she was asking females who she'd like to partner up with, they were already taken, like a long way out from the championships. And she was almost a bit shocked at that, which I was intrigued at, because I was kind of like, well, surely as a professional, you kind of have to know that you got to get in early, right? Like you were mentioning this just before, Colin, like how early do you have to get in at this high level?
Well, I know in Danny's case for nationals, she left that really last minute.
You say that with a smile, like she left it way too late. She was
left it
kidding
way
herself.
She left it way
Well, she's young, right? So like maybe
Get your shit together,
she doesn't
Danny.
have a calendar in her phone. She's not organized as well as you get older.
I also think that might be just her personality, right? Like she's pretty
she
chill.
just go with the flow. Yeah, I'll play with them. Yeah.
Now, let me ask you, Joey, you have been awesome since you got here. You're winning everything, man. And everyone that we know who's played with you has said you're just an amazing partner. Talk to us about how you got started in pickleball. What was Joey Wild's first kind of month like?
man.
First time on court? Walk us through it.
We're going way back here.
Let's do it.
I probably started pickleball earlier than a lot of players in Australia because I was living in the US at the time. This would have been, I think it's 2020.
In Austin.
Austin, Texas.
Yeah, you're in Texas. Yeah, cool.
Best city in the
Yeah,
US.
yes, I'll double down on that. I was
Easily.
just there in July. Awesome city.
I was jealous that you were there. Austin's hotspot for pickleball. Anyway, I was over in the US studying my master's, And I was a soccer player, been a soccer player all my life. COVID hit, soccer shut down, kind of needed an outlet. I was a bit sad at the time, homesick, no sport, nothing really to do. And one of my mates, one of these nights, just randomly invited me out to play pickleball. Never heard of it. Jumped out there on the court. We got destroyed by some local dudes. And that kind of started the addiction.
So
Like I feel like my story is that I have to beat everyone I play against until I've beaten these guys again. They've beat me on day
So let me
one.
get this straight. You weren't this tennis stud muffin.
No.
You weren't this ping pong great.
No,
You're
no.
a fucking soccer player.
No racket sports. Yeah, soccer.
And someone said,
None.
"Here,
None.
try this."
Nah. Yeah.
Whoa.
Yeah,
whoa,
try
whoa.
this.
That
Tell
gives
me you're at
some
least a
inspiration.
goalie. Tell me you were a goalie at least.
No.
Fuck. Okay.
Wow.
Well, how are you so good with your hands?
Wait, is there a thingy for that? Surely. Come on. Oh
But,
my God. Say it again. Go ahead and say it again. Adam, this is your moment.
How are you so good with your hands?
That escalated quickly. I mean, that really got out of
No
hand
comment
fast.
there. No comment. I don't know. Just
How did you get your current wrist injury?
too much pickleball.
Just
Pickle and
so,
balls.
just to get back to it. So you're in Austin, Texas. Are you playing soccer for a university over there or a club?
Yeah, University of Texas.
Oh, you're a Longhorn.
Yeah.
What?
Really?
Okay.
Oh my
So
God.
you're
I only
actually,
know them from Daniel Ricciardo. He's a Longhorn, isn't he?
Yeah,
Or is it just
Ricciardo's
a
a big
huge Longhorn
Longhorn.
fan?
wow. So you're actually very good at soccer.
You're on a scholarship.
Look at the
They
look
didn't
that
have
Ty's
a-
giving you right now. Like, you've got more respect from him all
Yeah.
of a sudden.
I could just say, I didn't know
so
you
it
were a
wasn't-
Longhorn.
It wasn't a scholarship soccer.
Okay.
It was a club soccer.
Yeah.
UT doesn't have like a NCAA team for men.
The women's do, yes.
The women's do.
Yes.
Yeah, and they're pretty good. But yeah, the top soccer that was available at the University of Texas, but that was secondary to my studies while I was over there. And yeah, just shut down, so I needed something to do.
And the courts that you're playing at Austin, Texas, what any fun names? Because
Pan Am.
is it?
Pan Am. I feel like that's where everyone gets their start in Austin. It's like
Okay.
Was it Rucker Park? Is that what it's called for basketball in New York? Like
Yeah, Rucker. Yes,
Yeah,
Rucker Park.
Rucker.
Yeah.
yeah, Pan Am in Austin is the equivalent of that, I think.
How many courts they have?
They now have 6, but they're these slick courts downtown. There's like chips in the concrete, but it's right in East Austin. Every afternoon, the vibes are pumping. People got music, paddles are stacked. Like,
Yeah.
it's the place to be. When I first started, there was barely anyone there. But a year on and the last few years, it's just pumping all the time.
So this
Every
is-
court in Austin is pumping.
This is COVID, so this is what, 2020? Is
yeah,
when you
end-
first
end of,
started.
End of 2020 is when I first started.
And no racket sports
No racket
whatsoever.
sports, no.
Not even like hitting tennis just like on holiday?
Like I'd swung a tennis racket before.
Okay.
Like I'd hit a ball against the wall every now and then. And
Holy shit.
That's
yeah,
unreal.
not
Dude,
like-
I am so motivated right now.
Me too. I'm walking away from
I
this
think-
going, maybe I can make it.
I could. I'm right there with you.
yeah, in grade 4 or something in school, I did a summer, like 1 week of tennis.
I just want to say to all those tennis players that are playing MLP, eat shit.
Exactly.
No,
This
but that's why
guy
I'm not good at singles.
Is so good. He's
Yeah.
so
It's not
good.
singles.
But what would you, your hand-eye coordination / mostly reflexes? How do you think? What's translated? Why are you so great at just quick? You know, when people are firefighting at you, your reflexes is unmatched. And obviously, soccer's totally different. You're catching a ball and you're on your feet. But how is your reflexes so good?
I don't know. Maybe, I mean, I've played a lot of pickleball. I played a lot of video games growing up, so there's some reaction time in that. Cricket, couple seasons cricket. I tried a bit of every sport basically growing up, so I guess there's just a combination
It's
of
all
everything.
translated
But
together.
then, yeah, once you play enough pickleball, you kind of learn it.
That's like those movies when the kid realizes he has some superpower, right? Like he's like trying to move something with his brain, and then all of a sudden it moves. That's Joey Wild on the freaking pickleball court. He
I
goes, "Oh
wish-
shit, I'm really
I
good
wish
at
it was
this."
that easy.
How cool, man!
Now, let me just ask one last question on top of that. So, your first ever pickleball tournament, where was it? Who'd you partner with? How'd you go?
I played in the 4O division it was like an hour out of Austin, near Texas A&M.
Okay.
Like middle of nowhere almost. Looked up this tournament a couple months in, 4O, played singles. There were about 4 players and I got second.
Okay.
Okay, podium.
So, yeah, podium in the first tournament. I think that's
And so it was
smart.
just singles. You didn't play men's doubles.
No,
Okay.
men's doubles partner kind of pulled out on me. I don't
And-
know if he didn't trust me. Or
And now
suck it now.
yeah, everyone wants to be your doubles partner now. Because so you have recently switched men's doubles. You've been with Mitch for a few series, a few tournaments, and now George Wall got the call up. How does that communication work, and how does that decision process go?
Yeah. To clarify, it's not like I dropped Mitch and picked up George. It's just scheduling tournaments. We've got some together. So this one I play with George. Next one I'll play with George. I've got a tournament coming up that I'm going to play with Mitch. Like, it's a bit of everything.
Is who decides that? Is that you deciding that, or
I feel like we all kind of figure out our schedules and ask around and see what slots in.
Yep.
For me, George makes sense because he's local. We can train together, get to know each other's games. But also Mitch. I mean, Mitch was the first Australian I ever played with. He came to the US 2023. We played the US Open together. So
Yeah.
I've got a lot of experience with Mitch, and I mean, we just won nationals.
Yeah, I think
defended our title.
we've skipped too far into the future. So when you came back to Australia,
Yeah.
right, and you realized, oh, there's like a little scene here. Was that right? And where were you at the time? You had left Texas, but you had then started playing a fair bit more in Texas.
Yeah.
I remember you saying you've played with a few big names.
Yeah, I trained with a few of them. So basically, I moved back here last September. So it's been just over a year. But the Christmas before that, I came back to visit my family for the first time since COVID hit. And I saw that there was some pickleball happening. I actually got a hit in with Doc at his courts. And I was like, wow, there's a sick court. People must be, taking this legit. And I had linked up with Mitch in the year before that as well. So I knew that pickleball was growing in Australia, and I kept my eye on some results and things like that. So when I got here, it wasn't like, wow, what the heck, pickleball exists. It was, I knew what was happening. I kind of tried to slot myself in. So my first tournament when I got back was nationals last year, and so I won the title with Mitch.
There you go.
And defended it.
Defended this year, yeah.
Yeah.
So Adam, what have you learned so far?
That I'm a chance to play MLP.
I've
'cause I've got
learned.
Everyone's a snare.
I've learned
never
that
know.
we need to start playing soccer, Colin.
Oh, mate, I don't know.
I think we should.
I think
join something.
padel is more up our alley.
Maybe, I don't know. I just think maybe footwork now. I'm just trying to get some
Just-
kind of shortcut.
What advice would you? So Adam, I don't know if he's told you this, but he has a silver medal. Did you bring it?
Yeah, it's in my bag.
It's in his. He always brings his
Sorry.
silver medal.
Was this the one where you guys got
I
bronze?
forgot about the
Yeah.
silver I got in Pan Packs.
Oh, he got him pan back. He has
Yeah,
two silvers.
When you pulled out and I played with Sanj, the commish.
So my question is, if he ever wants to get gold, what advice would you give to young Adam?
And can you put a caveat on that? Don't tell him to drill.
Yeah.
If you're not going to drill, just play 4 times a day and quit your job. Or
Perfect. Jess
call every
is
ball
going to be
out.
stoked.
Call every ball out.
Call
That's
every
good.
ball out, see what happens.
There's
You
no
never know.
cameras in the tournaments he plays in.
That's pretty fair.
He would lose some friends, but at least you get some gold.
Joey, we were
What's
playing
it
a pickup line game just before, and we have some pretty big names coming to Australia in the near future.
Really?
And let's just say
How
you
big?
had the chance to play with one of the best in the world, and you knew that this person didn't have a partner. Can you tell us like your best kind of pickup line? Let's say you slid into their DMs. What does that look like? What's the first kind of message? We can role play this too, by the way. Adam and I did.
So I'm just sliding straight into their DMs?
Yeah, and you tell me who it
Cold
is,
calling
and then
them.
I'll be that person.
Well, I don't know who it is.
Let's go Ben
have you-
John.
Let's go Ben
Let's go to the
Johns.
top.
Yeah, so
the big dog.
Ben Johns is coming here and he doesn't have a partner.
okay, yeah.
His brother's
and
not available.
Yeah.
now. Now you.
His brother's actually. I
Ben.
know for a fact his brother's got a criminal record. It can't get into this country. Sorry, Colin.
Whoa.
That may or may not be true, but anyway.
That works in
DUI.
my favor then.
It does.
Yeah.
So here we go.
So how does this first?
Or actually, no, he doesn't have the criminal record. He ticked the wrong box. Your cousin ticked
just-
the wrong box.
True.
This is
It
a
happens.
touchy subject.
It
Guys,
happens.
I'm
Yeah.
getting hot here waiting for this pickup line.
All right.
Go ahead.
Well, I haven't thought of one.
I was trying to buy you some time by saying
yeah.
defamation on Colin John, saying he had a criminal record. He wasn't getting in the country, but
Hey.
geez, I took a bullet for you.
So
I'm waiting for the FBI to pound this door down now.
Here it is. Let's see
You're
it.
buying me a lot of time here.
Yeah, there's too much time. Go for it.
Look, I can't put together a full pickup line, but
How do you kind of just
something-
do it? Like,
something about just silky hands and just I can be there on the right.
You take the right straight away. Yeah, okay.
Okay.
It
Well,
says-
if it's Ben Johns, I'm taking the right.
Says
Sounds like you're a bit of a starfish.
My backhand's pretty good, but
You just take it.
he wants to do 90% of the work. Good on him.
Yeah. Whatever you
cool.
need, man. I'll just be there.
Can I give you just a little advice?
Yeah. please.
Maybe
Please.
because your profile right now, I'm just looking at your Instagram. It's you playing pickleball, great.
Mm-hmm.
But I think maybe you playing pickleball with like 7 medals on your neck would look a little bit nicer.
Imagine like a
Sure.
Michael Phelps sort of vibe.
Yes, boom.
Trying to hit a forehand flick, backhand
I
flick.
should have done that with my nationals medals.
Yes. You almost did. You had 4. They looked pretty solid.
Do you have a little spot you put your medals now? Do you have like a little hanger that you hold them up, or?
Then I just chucked in a drawer. To be honest.
Yeah, well, the medals aren't great. Like I feel like when
Put
you
them in
do,
a backpack and take them to your workplace and anywhere you go. That's what I do.
Yeah, I think I got too many for that.
Well, I used to run a lot and did a lot of marathons, and in some of the races they would give you like pottery, so it was like usable. It was a trophy. You get a big bowl, and then you eat cereal out of it, or like Slam Jam, our tournament that we do that you haven't been yet, but you are invited
Sure,
to come.
yep.
We give you a big beer mug that says first place, so it's usable. All these tournaments are just like a little necklace that you wouldn't wear it out, so you would put it in a
Okay.
drawer.
A beer
Watch, here
mug's
you
a
go.
great
I'm gonna
idea.
try. Hey, Joey. It's Ty here from Slam Jam. How are you?
I'm doing well, thanks, Ty. How are you?
Great, buddy. Hey. What are you doing on December 7th? You got any plans?
sound like
Because I
you're
have a
setting
great
him up.
idea.
Well, let me check my calendar. Oh boy, I'm free on December 7th, Ty.
That's amazing, Joey. Because guess what? Turns out I don't have a partner. I would love to be your partner. Wait. Wink face emoji. ... How does that sound, mate?
Smells desperate.
Oh well, I actually think someone else asked me, Ty. I might have to get back to them first.
Well, fuck them, Joey. This is absolute bullshit.
We actually,
I have
we
your
actually partnered
Instagram
up
password.
already.
That is not true.
I was sweating for you. I was wondering if you might be.
There was a man sinking there. huh?
You're
There was a man
fishing.
sinking. Yeah. Okay, cool.
You're
No.
fishing for a tarpon and you
Well,
caught a little baby
That's how,
shiner.
that's how it worked.
I feel like that message just stays unread in there.
Yeah, unread.
No thanks.
Well, look.
Is that when the Slam Jam is? December 7th?
Yeah, it is.
I actually won't be here.
You're in China?
I'll be in China.
That's right. So,
Oh,
so
that
folks,
hurts
like
less.
I was saying earlier, you won't have to verse Joe Wild. He's not going to be on the trophy. This is actually all of your best chance to be on the trophy with names such as Sarah Burvish, Masand, etc., etc. So,
Wide open.
So now, Joey, for pickleball peasants like ourselves, what's the kind of best practice / drilling techniques that have helped you go from a soccer player to a top pro?
Just endless reps. Dinks. I start my drilling session with a lot of dinks. And then go from there on whatever my game needs work on, basically. Very, very specific with what I drill, like what's not been working for me the last few tournaments, or what can I keep improving. But beyond that, it's just the basics. So dinking, third shot drops, resets, and then a little specific drill here and there.
I'll just circle to dinking. So I sometimes drill and dink, right? But I'm just getting the ball over. There's no intention, right? Are you dinking with intention to try to actually get a point with it? Or are you just dinking to get it into the kitchen? Or when you say dinking, how is that drill going?
Yeah, dinking competitively.
Yeah.
So either straight ahead or cross court, just trying to move the other player around and looking for a pop-up.
And are you putting that kind of top spin on it with those backhand dinks and forehand dinks?
Yeah, mixing it up. So I'm trying to win the point, trying to put the other person under pressure. And when you dink like that, you'll probably miss more than normal. If you're just trying to, hit 100 dinks in a row, you can slice that pretty easily. But yeah, you want to mimic what you're doing in the game.
Yeah, absolutely. Because when I play against some pros, their dinks are a lot different than my dinks. My dinks is just keep the game going. Let them hopefully make the mistake. And their dinks have some intention, and I am guilty of popping up majority of the time.
Yeah, I think having the intention while you drill is important. I wish I had a more entertaining answer, but it's just getting the reps.
Well, it's funny. Obviously, the drilling's working out really well for you. I want to talk about your gender doubles over in Vietnam with George Wall. You defeated not one, but two Hall of Famers in Wes Gabrielsen and Kyle Yates. And you didn't just beat them, you smoked them in 2 games. You beat them 11-3, 11-4. Like how? How did
pretty
you
good win.
Yeah, that's an amazing win.
Yeah, we both George and I felt completely locked in for that game. Like looking back, apart from maybe the start of game 1, don't think we made too many errors, and so we were just locked in. I think we were both licking our lips at their dupers because we're a bit starved.
And
Got some
Gabrielsen-
duper ready over
Gabrielsen's
here.
had a horror run in Australia, hasn't he? We've stolen so
he's
much
tanked.
off his duper.
But George would have a tough time licking his top lip because that's a pretty thick mustache.
There's
he's
a lot
got,
to lick up
Georgie.
there.
Yeah.
That's interesting you bring up that. Like, I mean,
That's true.
have those games been entered yet? And
Yeah, they have. Yeah.
what did you get in terms of
Like,
like? Have
I
you
can't-
noticed
I
much of
can't
a
tell you.
change?
Well, I'm above a 6 now finally. So
Get some bloody applause going. Here we go. Where's my button? Oh, you bloody beauty.
I reckon my DJ horns would have been better there.
That's the second
awesome.
highest duper of all time. The second highest duper of all time in Australia because
What?
the greatest player of all time is from Australia. His name is Ben Costin.
Ben Costin
Yeah,
7.16.
yeah, he's 7.1. Yes, that's. I mean, you're getting close, buddy. Keep it up.
But he is the highest duper to ever come onto the Slam Jam.
True.
That's a fact.
So prior to Vietnam, you were sitting at below 6, and post
Correct.
you've cracked that. And I imagine that, like in all seriousness, that would have been a goal. I'm assuming.
Yeah, it's a bit of a milestone.
Yeah.
Yeah, 6 is a big achievement. It's funny because when I moved here, I was around a 5'8", I think, last year, and then because Australia is just a duper graveyard, it tanked to a 5'3" within a month.
Wow.
Damn.
So I've had to climb that back up.
So now when you do DM Ben Jones, he sees the 6.
He sees the 6.
He's
yeah.
like, well, all right, this guy's serious. Maybe I will answer his question.
Yeah, hopefully. I still think Australia, we're pretty underrated on duper just because we don't have the connection to other countries yet. So I feel like for the most part across the board, we're probably 0.2 or 0.3 low. But I guess we'll see once the Americans come out next year and try and play against us.
Yeah,
You
it's
start-
interesting. We talked
yeah.
about this on our season 1 wrap up show when we had the commish here, and we sort of said it was really interesting to have like the international picks and what did they bring, and she specifically brought up exactly what Joey's just benefited from in these international players coming over with their high duper rankings or ratings, shall we say, and pinching some of those points, and like this man's got a 6.
That might make people not want to come out though next year.
It might scare some people away.
To be honest,
Snatch it all.
Those
to be
down under
honest,
criminals.
To be honest, there's some internationals we would be happy not to welcome back.
Oh, imagine he's going to get into that.
Ouchie.
Did he say that?
He said it.
Wasn't me. Wasn't
Catch
me.
me outside. How about that?
Thanks, Colin. That was yours, actually.
I know. You're welcome.
We can
So
get into that later.
every game there would have been a strategy that you guys come up. What was the strategy against, we call them the Hoffs?
Yeah.
Because Wes, that guy, he's a freak of nature. He could switch paddle hands. He gets every ball back. Was there a strategy that you guys were utilizing that you'd like to elaborate and tell us about it? If you want to keep that to your chest, you're welcome to.
No, I actually don't think that we spoke too much about a strategy going into it. We'd been playing really well all day up until then. I'm trying to think our matches before then. We played Fook and Marcel. We played, it was Nelson Chan and Mayer, I think his name was, in the semi. Like, we'd just been sticking to our game all day rather than changing that for the opponents. I feel like there's 2 ways to take on a game. It's either play your style, see if it works out, or switch it up based on what you're expecting from the other team. We just played our game there and it worked. We knew that both Carl and Wes, they can dink all day, basically. So whenever we had a look in for a good speed up, take it. But other than that, we're just playing pickleball, and we're just feeling great.
Nice.
And if we can switch up to MLP, so you're now playing with the Sydney Smash. You were Mitch's first pick.
Go Smash.
On face value, we all thought you and Mitch were going to dominate, which largely you have, except for a loss to your old mob, actually, the Eastern Rush.
Yeah.
Losing to Aman and Ollie Gray. Happy birthday, Barry, by the way.
Barry.
It does take a team, I guess you could say, to win an MLP championship, and your girls are pretty solid, especially Selena, who's in her debut season.
Yep.
Yeah, you're all pretty accomplished in singles, even though you don't think that yourself. Now, you've had to play 3 Dream Breakers so far, but your record is 1 and 2, and you've lost twice to the Vipers, who seem to have your measure when it matters.
Dang Vipers, man.
I would never pick them. I would never pick them to win.
So, how have you seen the Smash season so far?
Yeah, I think you're right that on paper, we're a good team. Individually, we're all really good players. I think we've all shown that in the PPA events at the same tournaments as the MLP competitions. I mean, all of us have been on podiums in different events. So, yeah, in terms of who Mitch picked for the team, it's a great team. I think it just hasn't, for some reason, gelled on court, which isn't to say that we don't like it. Like, we're all great friends on and off court, but for some reason, it just hasn't clicked yet. And I feel like we're 2% away from just making and potentially winning a final. Like, I feel like we're that close. Just hasn't gone right yet. Those sneaky Vipers, those sneaky snakes just keep getting in our way.
What is it about the Vipers? You know, it's a completely different team, but like Andy Horridge went into this season as a captain, probably under pressure, and he picked well. He obviously had early picks.
Had an early pick and did well with them.
But what's been the problem? You know, I mean, look, Dream Breakers, to be honest, can go either way. You guys have been right in there.
50-50, yeah.
But is it the pressure moment that is the problem, or is it just bad luck?
Yeah, it might be just lacking a little bit of ice in the veins and clutching up at the right moment. The Gold Coast event, we were leading in every game of the tie, so including the Dream Breaker. So we kind of let it slip there. And again, we were up big in women's in this one. The mix that we lost, that was my mixed. I kind of fell asleep for 2 or 3 minutes, and suddenly they'd scored 8 points and couldn't claw it back at the end. So I guess a little bit to do with rally scoring, that games go so quick, and just not being able to finish the games off when we needed to. And they're just grinders, I guess. They fight till the very end.
Do you find it's a much different game, this rally scoring? Like, does your mindset?
I don't like rally scoring.
You don't like? We've heard that so. Like, why is it?
No, there's some players in the US that like it, some that don't. For me, it's just, well, I mean, you can't really fit anything else in the MLP format. Otherwise, it's going to go for so long.
For too long. Yeah.
I mean, matches already go for an hour and a half. Yeah. But for me, rally scoring is just, I don't know. It ends up feeling like there's 3 or 4 big points that decide the match, rather than a trend over, a whole game. So, some teams can go on a hot streak for a couple of minutes.
Yep.
And in regular scoring, that kind of evens out. You get on top of them anyway. But in rally scoring, that can just bang, game's done.
What do you think about Dream Breakers? Do you think that's a fair way to decide?
I think it's a fun way to decide.
It's for like spectators,
for the audience.
from a spectator perspective, for sure.
I cross my fingers every time there's a matchup for a Dream Breaker, because
like
it's fun to
college
watch.
football. I always want overtime. 'cause it's so much
Exactly.
fun.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, I can't think of anything to replace it with. It's easy enough to say, Dream Breaker stinks. It's singles at the end of the day. But
I reckon you could potentially do mixed doubles 4 points, then the next mixed doubles 4 points, and the next mixed doubles, like in that way of doing it.
maybe a mix where you switch the pairings up or something.
Yeah. Well, we've seen with the Dream Breaker season 1, there was always gender on gender, women play women, men play men. But it was this tournament we actually seen men playing women, which is something that we've talked about a lot, but we actually haven't seen.
Yeah.
That's a lose-lose situation for the guys.
Totally.
Oh, talk about
If you don't win, that's just a shame.
No, I totally
Lucas,
agree.
I think, went 0-4 in the finals against Summer, and that hurts the pride a bit.
Ouch.
Yeah.
Well, Blitz, he got Michelle Escobar 4-0, and then she got him
She came back.
0-4.
Oh my god,
That is pretty cool.
Crazy.
Hey, Joey. So there's a lot happening in MLP right now, and what I mean by that, there's some other leagues and some other opportunities.
Are there other leagues?
Well,
Ty?
there's opportunities creeping in,
True.
like PWR,
True.
right?
That's why I got the call up for the podcast, because everyone else is in India.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. You were top of the list, Joey.
You're
Thank you.
always on top of the list. I mean, with all those gold medals, trust me. ...
So you sure you're busy on December? No. So how do you think this is? What's your take? Because it's kind of a free for all now. It reminds me of PGA and Live. But what do you think's going on right now? What's the future of Australian pickleball, in your opinion?
And money
man.
talks.
Who knows? Yeah, PWR has come in with a lot of money. Based out of India, they seem to be wanting to do this world tour with a bunch of money behind it. And that's, as a player, your eyes kind of open up to that. And you're like, wow, how can I get involved in this? Which is, I mean, why I went and played in Hong Kong and why I'm going to go play in China. It's a really awesome chance to play against hopefully other top players in the world instead of just, in the Asia, Australia region. And there's some good money behind it. So, yeah, I think you see it from all the players in India right now. A lot of people are interested in what they have to offer, and that's the exciting thing about pickleball at the moment. In the US, it's fairly well established, but everywhere else in the world, it's a bit of a, there's a lot of opportunity. First come, first serve.
Do you have an agent?
I do have an agent.
Oh.
Flax Daddy.
Okay. I thought that was my
Big
chance.
dog, Sam Flaxman.
Okay.
Did you want to be my agent?
I was hoping I can give you my resume.
Well,
Too little, too late,
send
Colin.
the resume too, and we'll see if it does.
Does Flaxman pay any of your bills?
No.
That's interesting, because you might need to pay Chris Hayworth's bills.
What did Chris Hayworth do?
I was on the YouTube broadcast in the PPA event, and I was watching a singles match. It was Shelby Bates versus Mickey Hyatt.
Okay.
Mickey Hyatt.
Yep.
And we had Chris comment, and he said, "Let's go, Shelby." And then he followed up with, "I'm putting $100 on Shelby in 3 sets." And I just happened to be on there. And I just happened to be on there as the Slam Jam, the podcast profile, boys. And
You
I
were
said,
messaging. I did see this.
I said, I'll take that bet, Hayworth. I'll take that bet. And sure enough, Mickey wins it in 2. And
Wow.
I hit him up.
Smoked it.
I hit him up in the chat, and he went missing.
Crickets.
Oh, did you hit him up in the DMs? I heard that.
Nope.
Okay.
But I'm gonna be posting the receipt. I've got the chat log.
Yep.
And
So
that's US currency.
if you know
Bitcoin.
Chris Hayworth, we'll post this as a clip. Make sure we pile in on this mofo. Let's get this $100, and it's US, boys. It's
yes, that's
US.
what I'm saying.
And
I'll shirt front him
I
in
knew
China if he's
I
there.
knew Flaxman was his manager, so Flaxman, we'll be tagging you as well. We might have to go after you for our dough, I think, boys. What do you reckon?
Yeah, that's 150 Aussie dollars.
Yeah, we'll take it.
What do you think? we
Put your
should-
money where your mouth is, Hayworth.
Now, speaking of money, Joey, PPA, you've won a few tournaments. You've made some money off that, right?
Little bit, yeah.
Little bit.
Ask him.
What have you invested with that money yet? Is it just still in the bank, or did you have a little bit of a purchase? Did you buy a tinny? Did you get a TV? Did you get, I don't know, new rims on the car?
Well, paid for the holiday that we had in Vietnam
Okay.
after the tournament.
That's cool.
So, yeah, thanks PPA. Otherwise, straight to the mortgage, boys.
Oh,
Usually
okay.
Colin
I'm a
has some
real-
ideas of what you can do
I'm a
with the
real
money.
adult.
Now,
these days.
now speaking of mortgage, because we have the Gold Coast Mortgage Broker as our sponsor,
I've heard good things.
have you set up an offset account yet?
I do have an offset account.
Oh, he looks smart.
Smart man.
He does look
Yeah,
smart.
yeah.
What do you do when you're not playing pickleball? What's your profession?
I am an electrical engineer, full time.
Right.
God
Full
dang,
time.
Right when I thought you couldn't get any cooler.
Have you convinced any of your electrician buddies to play?
Yeah, actually, so the company I work for is still, I still work for the company I was working for in Austin.
Oh.
So when
Are you collecting a US paycheck right now?
no, I'm not. I've got me on Australian dollars. Yeah.
Far out. Imagine that.
Can't
He's
all
on a
be
US
glory.
salary right now.
Uh-huh. Do you want to do your best Vish impression?
No.
Come on, on court. What's some of the one-liners he said
you don't
to
need
you?
to use an
We've all
Indian
heard
accent.
them.
Yeah.
Come on, you're gonna have to throw in.
Yeah.
here.
No, you guys throw some out and I'll think. 'Cause
Okay.
I actually, whenever I play with Vish, I feel like I'm doing all the talking. He's just there, so calm and collected.
Yeah, it's the Kirtan in him. Big Kirtan man. You go. You
goes,
start.
yeah.
Come on, buddy. This one.
This one.
Colin, what else?
No, he's a good motivator, but it's just quick little sentences he says that.
It's just the come on. It's just come on.
Come on.
Come
Have
on,
you ever
Jack.
heard him swear?
No.
You obviously haven't played shit. I have.
The
He,
grudgy.
this is him saying fuck. Fuck off. Now, he doesn't say it directly to me.
No.
It's just like...
But it's that you
when
had
the
just hit the ball in the net.
Yeah, when the
and
final
then-
point is done, he's just like, fuck off.
And he's not talking about fuck the player.
Well, I got to tell him a little quick story. So before Vish became pro, obviously we were his trainers.
Yes.
He thanks us every day via message. But we used to have called the grudge match. And the grudge match, it was Ty and I versus Adam and Vish. And we put, it was whoever won 10 games, best out of 3, that counts as 1 game to win. And we just...
Like a series.
A series, yeah. And we decided that the loser, if we lost... then we would get the Vish haircut. Have you seen the Vish haircut?
The slice to the front.
The slice just
Fresh.
right down the back.
Fresh.
Yes. And if they lost, Adam had to get the Vish haircut. And
Who got the Vish haircut?
so it was 9-9. Like, it was close. And at the very end, we pulled it off, thank God, because I don't know what I would look like with a Vish haircut. But Holly got the Vish haircut.
Yeah, I had to go to Broadbeach to his barber. It literally can walk in there and go, I'll get the Vish, and they know.
Get the Vish.
They know exactly what you're talking about.
And then-
Are
I
they
I have to
Turkish?
find the
feel
picture.
like
I can't
that's
remember when it
a
was.
Then-
It was a while
barber
ago.
that'll do that.
Vish took it like a bit personal. He's like, why
Yeah, why is that a
Why is this a
punishment?
punishment?
why is this a punishment?
I got it. I liked it.
I don't think it's a punishment.
No, but they also bought
good
us
cut,
dinner.
Vish.
But that was probably the last time I ever beat Vish. Ever since then, he's now a pro and dominating.
No, I love Vish.
He's
Vish
the
is
man.
One of the greatest guys on
Mate,
tour.
looking ahead to the Melbourne Open, you've got, speaking of Vish, the Gold Coast Glory in round 1.
Oh, no.
And you've also got the hometown Melbourne Mavericks in round 2. So a pretty challenging draw. How do you see yourselves matching up and going against those teams?
Well, I'll always go into it thinking that we can win. Mavs, I think they're missing Wes.
They are.
For
They're
this
going to be
one?
missing Wes.
So
Yep.
they'll-
Gabrielsen, I think you beat him to death in Vietnam. So he just
packed up his
put up the
bags
white
and
flag and
went.
said, I ain't coming.
Does he have bronchitis?
He might have bronchitis.
Poor
He
guy.
might have bronchitis, Colin. That's a really good call. And I also have the...
Nobody got time for that.
Wow,
Wes.
you're almost getting those reactions in under 10 seconds now,
Yes.
man. You
Too
are
many of them.
speeding up, baby.
Colin's given me. We
The
have a
warning.
notes list. You should. We called for people to send us in, and no one sent anything in. But Colin, you put about 16 in.
I put 16 and he only picked 8. And if I knew 8 was the choices, then I would have picked my best 8. He picked like just some willy-nilly ones.
I feel like there's hundreds in there. The amount you're scrolling through trying to find it.
It takes longer to push the button to download it.
But for Melbourne, yeah, Mavs, they did really well in Vietnam. That was kind of out of the blue, so can't take them lightly.
And the Gold Coast, and they've made the semis, Mavs, with Yates.
No, they missed. They missed out.
Oh, did they just
They
miss
played
out?
the Hustle, who got through.
Righto.
Yeah, in that Dream Breaker.
Yeah, and the Gold Coast, I mean, they're a tough team. They've
An interesting
they've
team right
whooped-
now, aren't they?
They've whooped every team that's not named the Fast Fours.
Yeah.
So,
And that's your old team.
No.
Sorry.
rush.
Do you want me to edit that out? Or?
Yeah, edit that
No
out.
way. We're keeping that in.
Edit
I'm
that
telling
out.
Katie.
Because
I've got one. Actually, speaking of Katie, remember this one?
If you're a asswipe, no one's going to pick you.
No one's going to pick you, Colin.
That's fair. I deserve that. I'm now going to go mute.
I'll pick you. Hey, Colin. It's Ty here from the Slam Jam. What are you doing December 7th?
Oh, I still got this meniscus knee injury. I don't know if I'll be ready to play with you.
Ty has left the group.
Been kicked from the group.
But Melbourne, have you played at that facility before?
No, I've never been to
New
it.
one.
Frankston.
Beautiful.
Yeah, I don't know much about the place.
Colin Johns
Heard
would
great
love
things.
Frankston.
Footy?
Yeah, a lot of criminals from Frankston.
Yeah, I've heard the culture down there is great. It's close to Mornington though, so
Yeah, it's
just
beautiful
pass
down
it
there.
off as a Mornington trip.
That should be a trip you take. The missus
Oh,
on.
Yeah.
yes, because they have the hot springs there. Highly recommend going there. I took Lindsay there. It is the best date ever. It's like 20 different springs, and it feels like you're in an amusement park. You just walk, you jump into this one, then you get out, you jump into that one, and sometimes they have live music on the lawn. So hot
Yeah,
tip.
that sounds
Oh, there you
awesome.
go.
Yeah.
Now, is there any matchup or any guy or girl that their game and their style that just doesn't suit you to play against them? Is there anyone like that you just go, shit, something about this person, I can't?
I think the whole Glory team is kind of like that. Roman and Vish, they're an unusual men's matchup in terms of they're not going to miss a ball, make you do a lot of work, hit a lot of balls if you want to win a point. And then, I mean, Chuck Sarah in there and Sarah Jane, it's not a team that's going to give you a lot of free points. So that's going to be a tough match, and I think that's why they've done so well outside of the fours so far. So, yeah, Glory's going to be tough.
Okay.
Mavs, I feel pretty confident going to the Mavs. We had a bit of a scrimmage against them in Vietnam, but you never know.
Okay.
You never know.
Well, I reckon we might start talking about the MLP winners in Vietnam, but we might do so after this break. In pickleball, you need a few things to win matches. A good partner, a good strategy, and the right shot selection. I'm Adam, your local mortgage broker. When it comes to your home loan, selecting the right lender is key to putting you on a winning strategy. With over 30 different lenders, I'm confident we're the right partner for you. If you want to discuss your current interest rate or your next home loan, then reach out to the Gold Coast Mortgage Broker today. Your bank won't tell you about a lower interest rate, but we will. All right, let's talk about the Northern Crocs and their incredible victory against the Fast Fours, who have now been runner-up 3 times, if you include losing to the Gold Coast Glory in Brisbane at the end of Season 1. This was an incredible match that went 21-18 in the female gender doubles to the Fours. It then went 21-16 in men's gender doubles to the Crocs. We then saw a battle of the super subs in Willy Chung partnering with Andy Digger-Savage up against Isha Lakani and Lucas Pascoe, with this one going the way of the Crocs 21-16. And then it was do or die for the Fours, with the skippers taking the court. It was George Wall and Jamie Way, who were down 11-8 at the change of ends, who then let the scoreline blow out to 17-12 before clawing back that deficit, taking the lead at 19-18. It then took them 2 game points opportunities to seal this one 21-19 and take it to a dream breaker. Boys, an incredible match. Ty, if I can start with you, what about that super sub Willy Chung?
Well, hey, Joe, did you hear about that guy that picks the winner every single time?
I did not know.
Actually perfect
Was it you?
every time.
Was it you, Ty?
It was. Wow. It was.
And what made you decide on the Crocs?
Colin, look, I'm not going to go through my methods, man. I'm just going to let you know that winners pick winners.
Please pick the Smash next time.
Literally, you
actually,
didn't know
that's-
Chung was going to come in as a super sub.
I still don't know who he is. Who is this guy?
I did watch that Dream Breaker. Man, it had everything. I'm almost positive I saw George Wall do the longest ATP ever. He was like past the kitchen line and had this ridiculous ATP. It was awesome.
They
But
smashed him in that Dream Breaker, though. It wasn't even close.
no, it got very close.
Was it?
Far out.
It was very close. I was there.
Just
I
tell
saw it in
everyone
person.
where you were when the Vietnam Open was happening.
Where
were
was
you
I?
in the country?
Probably not. No.
You're in New Zealand?
No, that's right.
With
That's
your
where I
dad?
go to get all my picks.
But no, it was a fun way to finish it off, and it was cool just seeing the cross genders battling against each other with
Cross
Lucas.
genders? Is that
Well-
a new division? Holy shit.
Well,
I
what-
love how the game's really expanding to include everybody, including cross genders.
What would you call that when there's a guy playing a girl
Mixed.
no, it's singles.
Oh, in singles.
He means when a dream breaker happens and there's
a guy versus a girl.
Yeah, yeah.
I call that cross genders.
Cross
I
gender.
mean, it's probably not grammatically incorrect.
It's actually probably not incorrect, but it
This
just
guy
sound-
didn't even
it
watch the
sounds-
bloody
Yeah, I
Dream
know.
Breaker.
Shut up,
Him
Ty.
trying
I'm
to
just
give
saying,
me
he's-
I'm
crap.
going
Colin
to
was
mute
just-
his mic. What number is he on? 3 or
it
4?
was very woke. Very woke.
Yeah.
Very woke.
Let's
Now,
get back to Willy Chung. You probably had the best look at Willy Chung. Like,
lunar
Had a great look
athlete.
at Willy.
I see
where's
what
the
you did there.
applause? It takes me too long to shuffle these things. But yeah, Willy Chung, he was spectacular.
He was amazing. Yeah, he played really well in men's doubles on the Saturday, and then I guess he got picked up that evening. Did he? He was unreal. From coming out of nowhere, I don't know if his name was in the draft to get picked, but if it was, then yeah, he was definitely a snub that should have gone picked based on how he played. It was great.
Wow, that's a big call. Yeah, funny, I've got a list of players that I'm going to throw at all of you boys soon to say who would you pick before Willy Chung, or would you pick Willy Chung above this person?
Well-
So we'll get into that later.
Well, just quickly, I want to put a name out there. I'm going to definitely mispronounce it, but Aditya Ruala,
Aditya.
who won singles men's.
Avicii.
Yeah, Aditya.
Do you think his name was in the
It would have been.
as an option, and they picked Chung over him?
I'm not sure who the options were for the Crocs. I would have picked Willy Chung above him. Aditya's a really good singles player.
Really good singles. Yeah.
Doubles, he's still working on it.
Gotcha. Okay.
He's young though, Aditya.
Yeah, he's young.
But Chung's young. He looked like he's like 17. You know how old roughly?
He's pretty young.
Yeah.
He looks young.
Around that age, just somewhere around 18.
Dang, that's crazy. Like the level at this young age.
It was insane. Well, Colin, in game one, we saw Lakani, who was solid all weekend as the sub herself. She defended brilliantly an ATP in that game one early, and there were multiple crazy firefights. Andy, well, I reckon she announced herself as a star of the future. She was super consistent with her dinking and was lethal on both sides when balls were sped up. I think she needs probably some work on her third shot drop, but remember, she is on her debut. This is her first season of MLP, so she hasn't been playing that long. And Jamie Way, she has impressed me from the moment she hit the court on the Gold Coast. She was clutch in this game, and at one point, she was very firm with her call to Lakani, giving her a me, which would have made Utah very proud, actually, to take an overhead.
Get out of the way because
yeah.
Jamie Way is here.
Nice. But yeah, she was the top dog when it mattered, wasn't she, Colin?
Well, she I had a good chat with her in the Gold Coast. She's went to Temple as a tennis scholarship, and she's a weapon. Like her just abilities to keep things keeping the rallies going, her speed. When you speed her up, you better be ready because that ball's coming right back over. She's a great duo, and I think even with her partner Liz Trueluck not being there, she had to step it up. But Isha, she played amazing as well, her new partner, and that's I would imagine, Joey, like you've now been playing with your partner for, I don't know, a couple games or couple tournaments now, and now you have to transition to a new partner. What's that like, trying to gauge just the chemistry?
Yeah, sometimes you can kind of slide a new player in and you'll mesh. Sometimes it takes a few games to work out. So the fact that they kind of seamlessly played well together is a testament to them.
And game two, well, Willy Chung, he started red hot, single-handedly earning the first 2 points before coughing up an ATP opportunity to George Wall. He then hit a crazy backhand ATP himself, and when he struck that ball, it would have been less than a couple of inches from the ground. It was incredible. Fours, well, they took a timeout ASAP as they were down 7-1. Fours were then down 11-3 at the change of ends. Pascoe went Air Jordan late with an incredible vertical overhead slam, but the Crocs won this one. But Joey, what can you tell us about what it's like to play with George Wall, who we've often referred to as the thinking man's pickleballer?
Or RoboCop.
Or Mall Cop.
Yeah, he's a thinker on court. He doesn't say too much in the realm of, this is our tactic for the next point, then we're going to do this, then we're going to do this. But the way he goes about the entire game, like he'll control the tempo of the match a little bit, take a breath here and there when he needs, and kind of make the right decisions at the right time. So it's, the thinking man's pickleball is a good name for George.
But he also communicates quite a bit midpoint, at least that I've seen with him and Lucas, and then him and his mixed partner, Jamie. Do you think communicating while you're playing is like a positive, or do you rather, not communicate? Like, what's your strategy when you're playing with somebody?
more communication, the better.
I try to tell Ty that all the time.
Well, you know, Danny's like, go. And so you're like, don't fuck up.
I go, no.
That's what you
Are
tell
you
me
there?
every time it's done.
It's a question. Are you there?
Like any good relationship, boys.
That's right.
Communicate.
We're
Be
working on
great.
it.
Communicate.
We're very bad communicators with our partners, Joey.
Yeah, but communicating pickleball is just like little words. Mine, yours, out, in. Is there anything else that
Yours is universally the worst call in sport, I reckon. You should never use the word yours.
You should just say go.
Yep. Or mine.
Is there any other words, Joey, that you use or that you hear that's being used?
I say watch a lot.
What's
hit
that
a bat.
mean?
If you pop
For
it up.
For people that don't
Yeah,
know.
for me, it's just when I pop it up. So if I hit a third shot drop that's going a little high, if my reset's a little high, not confident about the shot, I'll just say watch it to let my partner know, hey, dig in.
I say the same
go.
sort
No.
of thing.
Yeah.
Mine has a few more words. It's fuck, that was short.
No. When I pop it up, I go, stay in there. We got this.
We got this.
Charge.
Freedom.
Strap your helmet on. Be a man.
I mean, beyond that, you can't really get too much out in the
exactly.
speed of the game. It's
No, you
watch,
really can't.
out, yours, mine. Well, not yours because Adam doesn't like yours.
It's true.
Things
Don't
like
say yours.
What do
But
you-
it's funny you say you can't get much out because I would agree, and I think that's one of George's great strengths. Is he can be very succinct with his messaging between a point to give you, I guess, information or an instruction.
Yeah, I think I might be one of the worst people to ask about this because when I'm playing on court, I kind of don't listen to anything. So he could be telling me.
That's why you and Danny are so good together.
He could be telling me a lot of things when we're playing men's, and I'm just there hitting the ball, stealing the middle ball off him from the right side. Yeah.
He's an incredible player. Game 3, well, both subs were sent out to win Game 3. Chung was typical of his previous form in this one early, but Pascoe, just before the switch of ends, decided to insert himself in the match with some wicked reflexes to start turning the game back in the four's favour. Andy was all kinds of brave as she faced direct opponent Pascoe, quite often, coming out on top. Her ability to speed up across court with precision is something to behold. At 2016, Chung lit another fire at the kitchen line and found the sideline past Pascoe to get back serve for Andy. Andy then set up the point with a great drop into the kitchen, and Chung pounced with a 1-2 punch, taking to the sky for what looked like an inside-out overhead to finish the game. Again, Chung, he was just incredible. He was the absolute weapon super sub you could ever dream for.
And also, and Joey, you could talk about this. Did he have a bit of a fan base behind him there? Because I felt like every time he did something, everyone in the crowd was cheering.
I feel like everyone got around Willy Chung just out of nowhere. I don't know if he brought his own entourage or what, but
Is that his hometown or?
no, I think he's from Taiwan.
Yeah.
Right, because every time he did something, like he had a fan base.
He had a fan base, but it wasn't the Taiwanese players. It wasn't them that was getting around him. It was others that he just made fans of his on court during that.
Right.
That's
during
awesome.
That day.
Pretty cool.
I would say, I had a couple of brief interactions with him through the tournament, just, tag him in a couple of posts because he was a highlight reel. And he was very gracious and messaging us back saying, thank you so much. And just, very, very well-mannered for someone that obviously I'm assuming English would be his second language, right? So I was impressed that he, bothered to take the time just to say thank you.
That's interesting because I was just looking at the draft results. The absolute last pick was Kyle Watnell. Do you think teams would rather now Willy?
Well,
than
you only
Kyle?
get one international.
Jeez, I love how you singled out Kyle. There could be
It's just strange that they had the last pick. Yeah, and it was Kyle. Now
I think
there's
they
Willy Chung.
gave him heat stroke on purpose.
Oh, is that what he had? He
Yeah.
had a heat stroke.
Heat stroke in men's doubles day.
He
He looks like he just got out of the pool, but he
It
didn't.
was
He
hot,
covered
right?
in sweat.
Talk about
was
how
that
hot
during
that?
PPA?
During the PPA men's doubles, they
Right.
won bronze.
Gotcha.
Kyle and Roman, and after it, he was cooked.
Yeah.
Dang.
He was full on. He told me he spent the evening just shivering on someone's hotel room floor.
So Summer, the captain, had to make a quick decision
Yeah.
on who she wants to be on her team. And then Chung was in there. And I think maybe Adam might have a bit of background of, obviously, Willy Chung is sponsored by Lunar.
I believe so. Yeah.
So the first lunar athlete to win, or is there Serge?
That'd be Leander.
Leander, yes. Good on you, Lunar. We're watching you. But do you have a bit of background of how Chung got...
Shout out to those Slam Jam podcast guys.
Yeah.
Mate, I'm hot right now. I'm really hot.
Do you have a little bit of background on how Chung got selected, or?
No, I have a bit of background that Kyle Watnell's going to have to split his prize money 50-50 though.
Oh, is that an anonymous source?
It might be an anonymous source, but I think it's also written into the contract somewhere that because that was something I was wondering because I saw the picture, right? So they win the trophy,
And Kyle's in the photo.
Kyle's in the photo. I'm thinking, mate, you got an A+ on the group assignment, but you literally did nothing. Nothing. There it
the
is.
first round match.
No, I shouldn't say you did nothing. You did.
Well-
You did one day's work. Jeez, you sound like a council worker.
If Kyle was still in there instead of Willy, surely they still win, no?
Well, let's talk about we've talked about Willy. I want to say
Big statement.
so this was we'll bring this forward. So here's a list of male players that were selected in season 2, and I want you all to tell me if you'd pick Willy Chung before them. So after seeing him play in Vietnam, it's a simple yes no. So these are not the captains. The male captains aren't going to be in this list. So there will be some names missing. It's the players, the male players that were selected by the captains as a whole.
Is my name on there?
We'll start with Rob Sterling. Would you pick Willy Chung above Rob Sterling? Yes or no?
Willy Chung.
Just yes or no, not Willy Chung. So
No.
it's yes.
Everybody was Chung Fu.
Yeah.
I don't think you understand the question, Colin.
Yeah. I'll go with Chung. He's
You
my
want
friend.
you want Chung. You
Yeah.
want to be Chung.
Yeah.
I'm not playing this one. I didn't even watch him play.
Just say yes or no. Then.
Yes.
Okay. Are you going to pick
No,
Willy
I
Chung
played
before
the
yes?
fifth here. No,
Yeah.
He's
I'm
with
not-
he's
Come
Switzerland.
on, you can say yes or no. You're on the list as well, by the way.
Well, I'll respond to my name. How about that?
So you're going to stay out of this completely.
Looks like a
think so.
game between Adam and I. Let's do it.
right.
And you're in. You can just fluke this.
This is a sample.
Just like how you picked the
It's a
Crocs.
sample size
Would
of
you-
one match.
I want to do this quick fire. I wanna
Sample
do this
size
quick
is one
fire.
match.
All
That's a
would
very
you,
good
would
point.
Would you pick Wes Gabrielsen above Willy Chung? Yes or no?
Yes.
Wait, with or without bronchitis?
Without the disease.
I'll take Wes.
Fook
I'll take Fook.
above Willy. So
Yes.
you prefer? Yep.
Fuck.
Nielsen Chen.
Chan the man. I'll take Chan all day. He's a superstar.
Chen, not to be confused with Chan. 'Cause there are two.
I'm talking about Happy Gilmore Chan.
No, Nielsen Chen.
Oh no. I'll
take
go
Nielsen.
with I'll go with Chung.
You'll take Chung. You'll take Chen. Ryan Henry.
From Sydney. I like him, but I'll go with Chung.
Willie.
Daniel Moore. You've got a vendetta against Daniel
I do
Moore. If you
not.
don't pick Daniel Moore, it's going to be confirmed.
I-
But would you pick Willy Chung, who you've never seen, over Daniel Moore? Please say yes.
Take Daniel Moore.
You pussy.
He's not going to partner with you on December 7th, Ty. You don't have to say yes.
Hey, Dan, did you see the last episode? What are you doing on December 7th?
To be honest, because of D Moore, I beat Vish and Sarah in a fun expedition game, so I'm just gonna go with Moore.
Oh, you would pick Moore? Okay. Okay, would you pick Kyle Yates over Willy Chung?
Us Florida boys got to stay together. Up the Yates.
Ty?
I take Kyle.
Joey Wild or Willy Chung?
Who's Joey?
Willie.
Joey who?
Just pretend I'm not here, guys. Please, don't be too kind.
I'll go with Wild Thing for sure. Wait, so you saying that Summer could have picked these athletes?
No, I'm just,
okay.
this is a hypothetical now.
Okay.
Yep. Let's make it short and sharp. Marcel Chan.
Chan the man, yes.
You pick him.
Chan.
You don't pick Chung. Leander.
Chung.
Leander.
Pasco.
Chung.
Pasco.
Bartia.
Chung over Pasco.
Yeah, man, Chung performed.
Colin.
That's huge, isn't it?
I love Pasco, but I think when the big stage is on, it gets a little nervy.
Wow, small sample size.
Exactly.
He's been in the finals
Aman
twice.
Bartier. Chung or Bartier?
Chung.
You're picking Chung over Bartier.
I love Chung.
He's
Chung.
forgetting the fucking rules.
That
He's
just
just
mixes
repeating the
the
last
whole
thing
list.
you said. Yeah.
Are you Bartier?
Of course.
Yeah, I would have been of the of course category. Ollie Gray.
Chung.
Oh, hang on. New one. Ben Johns or John?
I'll go with Ben. Hey, new one. Who new one? How many times has Ollie Gray won a MLP
Take it
Championship.
easy. It's his fucking birthday.
Yeah.
Okay.
19. All right, would you pick Ollie Gray, though?
I take Ollie.
Over Chung?
Yeah.
You're nuts. Vish.
I go Vish.
Oh, got him. Who you going?
Yeah, Vish.
Yeah, Brown Daddy. Roman.
I'll go Roman.
Harsh.
Harsh. I'll go Harsh.
Harsh.
Watnell.
I go Chung.
I go Kyle.
Oh, would ya? Jeez, okay. Well, that's some interesting answers. I liked it.
That was a long list, dude.
That was all the males that were picked by captains, and it was interesting because I don't actually think that Chung was he didn't nominate for the draft, but because he was an in-tournament substitute, that's how he came to be an eligible player. And
Who were the other subs?
I do think that was actually a point of conjecture with a couple of captains. Actually, I'm not sure if you heard anything about
I think
that.
there was a little hustle and bustle about that, but I'm not sure the details.
Yeah.
I wasn't sure what list he was on or not.
Were there other options?
There definitely would have been. Yeah.
Do you know who they would have been?
Well, anyone who
Was
was,
just there.
playing in the tournament,
In the
you're an
PPA.
in-tournament substitute for a
Right.
start.
They had to be an Asian or Australian pick, I think.
Did they? Okay.
Yeah.
So does that?
But then every tournament there is a substitute list. Now it is somewhat dependent on whether or not these people are bothering to go to the tournament. It's not like MLP, give them a plane ticket and say you got to come just in case.
Yeah. Like a Jason Taylor, he seems to be kind of floating around all the time. He's always there. He would have been on that list. Was he there in Vietnam?
Yeah, well, he did substitute actually for Matt Carter.
He did too. That's right.
Yeah.
That's right. Yep.
Yeah.
Oh, you did see that, but you
No,
didn't
I-
see the final.
Well,
Well,
he
it's his
probably
picture.
saw it at Queenstown Airport because he was in New Zealand.
He's
there
actually
was a
like
billboard.
Jason Taylor subbing in for Matt Carter.
Hustle, yeah.
There's a hilarious
sense.
picture of him.
I'm sure there is.
Yeah.
While you find that, Game 4, well, Harsh was causing all sorts of concerns for George and Jamie, while Summer played a superb supporting role. The Fours started to turn the tide, but the Crocs forced the change of ends and went across the otherwise with an 11-8 lead. When the switch happened, George started by hitting a off forehand winner before Jamie backed him up with the next point in sizzling fashion. The Crocs got out to a 17-12 lead before the Fours called a timeout, and it really didn't look good for the Fours. They looked as if they were on struggle street. But the Fours found a way, and they climbed back, chasing down a deficit. They got to 18-18, and an exchange broke out. And surprisingly, it was Meta whose hands were ready. The Fours took the lead for the first time, 19-18. Jamie Way then showed guts and went for the glory with a speed up and finishing it off with a backhand. Simply superb. It took the Fours 2 game points to secure the victory, and when they did, it was a captain's ATP that did it, and that took us to a dream breaker.
That was the ATP I was referring to. Maybe it wasn't singles, but that ATP was memorable. That was amazing. It was the furthest ATP I've ever seen.
Yeah.
It was like between the kitchen and between the back line, that
He
middle
had to
ground.
go from like left to right. He was thrown from side to
Backhand.
side, and he didn't give up, as you would expect a captain not to give up, right?
Man, he's an awesome captain. If I was a player being picked, I would want to be on George Wall's team, for sure.
Well, let me tell you the highlights of the Dream Breaker. So we'll go straight up. It was Chung v. Wall. Chung gets this one 3-1, coming up mega on the angle to clinch his third point. Dallabonna versus Pascoe. This is exactly what you're talking about, Colin. The cross-gender, as you were calling it.
And everyone's going to call it that now.
The cross-gender battle. Dallabonna, the captain of the Crocs, versus Pascoe. Dallabonna gets him 4-0. She started hot on the first point, and that set her the tone for a 4-0.
Now, Pascoe did come back later on.
I'll get to that.
Okay,
Jeez,
all right.
Don't beat me up. Andy versus Jamie Way. They went 2-2. Andy won the first 2, but Jamie won the next 2, with Way patiently coming in after learning from being too eager the first 2 times. Meta versus Lakane. An all-Indian battle, the sub, Lakane. She wasn't too bad, but Meta got her done 3-1 in this one. Lakane was incredible. Her first point against Meta was mega. Chung versus Wall again. Well, Chung got stung. 1-3 this time. George pulled out the biggest move of the tournament, chasing down a meta slice to execute a backhand winner from near the baseline. Sheer guts and determination. Dallabonna versus Pascoe. Pascoe had a lot to prove on this one. He got it done against Dallabonna this time. He was up 3-1. Pascoe loops a backhand like a rainbow, and it finds the sideline. Then we had Andy versus Jamie again. Well, Andy, she went down. Jamie got the ascendancy on this one, 3-1. She was aggressive, and it worked out well for her as she took the first point and got Andy done. Meta versus Lakane. Well, Meta, he got it done again on this one, 3-1. He found his range, waved that left arm with paddle in hand like a wand. Chung versus Wall got 2-2 in this one. An even encounter between these two, with both men finding the net on their way to take the lead. That doesn't make sense, but anyway, we'll keep moving. Dallabonna versus Pascoe. Dallabonna, with Pascoe at the net, rips a deft backhand past Pascoe to swing the momentum in her favour. In a tough moment for Pascoe on the next point, he gets called for a foot fault, and it looked like he knew it as he performed the tightrope walk at the kitchen line. With ball in hand, the captain Dallabonna had the match on her paddle. She served coolly, went into the net after the return, and then Pascoe went big but wide. And the Northern Crocs, they become Vietnam Open champions. They're 3-time MLP champions, are the Crocs, the most successful franchise in MLP Australia history.
Huge. And I would put it down to the captain, the skipper, Summer. She's not only performs on the court, but when the draft happens, she knows how to pick winners.
So do I.
Now, just a quick question on that before. Who actually had the option to react on that Dream Breaker?
I'm actually not 100%.
Wild, were you there to clarify?
No, I'm not sure either. I should know this.
Yeah, because that was a big decision to do the cross gender. Whoever was to react, that's huge. I wonder if it paid off for whoever decided on it.
Are you, Joey? Are you the kind of guy that sticks around and, let's say you've been eliminated in the semis or quarters? Are you the kind of guy that sticks around and watches other games?
Yeah.
You are, because Vish, he is gone. He has no interest.
He had places to be.
He just had places to be. Yeah. So, but is there kind of two categories? Do you know other people who are just like, they're off court? That's it. I'm out of here. I'm done.
Yeah.
Who
I get
else?
it. Sometimes I feel like just leaving. And sometimes I feel like staying.
Yeah.
For the semis, actually, I barely just got off court after winning mixed with Danny because it was such a long day. And by the time I had a shower and came back, they were already halfway through. So I jumped in the booth actually for Crocs' first surge, but it was just the first mix, so I didn't get to see much of it. And then, a whole bunch of us were hanging around for the final. And during that final Dream Break, it was pretty sick. Yeah. Bleachers were pretty full. We were sitting up the top row of the bleachers with some of the boys, and just it was popping off. We were cheering for both teams. We were just watching some high quality pickleball.
Now, talk to us about being on the road and traveling as a pro pickleball player. Are there some cliques forming? Is there the younger drinkers who want to go out and party when they're not playing, and then there's the kind of the older guys who are might go for the
crafty
quiet
veterans
dinner. Talk to us about that.
And then there's me just drinking my water.
Just drinking your water, man. That's all right.
Yeah,
we don't hate you for it.
H2O, baby.
I don't know about cliques. I feel like it's kind of maybe getting to that stage, but there's definitely little friend groups within the whole crew of players heading over. Not that that's a bad thing. I think normally sits within training groups and some partners that like to stick together on and off court. Otherwise, it's mostly friendly. It's changed a little bit from, say, this time last year where everyone was just co-mingling everywhere and it was...
Hooking up?
Kumbaya.
Did you say hooking up or co-mingling?
Co-mingling.
Okay, gotcha. Sorry.
Yeah, not cross-gendering, co-mingling, all of this, Colin.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Who let's just say it was really spicy.
Thanks, Pickle Prince. I haven't
Thanks,
DM'd
Pickle
you
Prince.
about borrowing your intellectual property, but
I've heard the food
don't
has
sue
been,
me.
The food has been pretty spicy in India for some of the players.
Yeah, that's true.
Roman picked this banging hot pot spot.
I reckon that was the spot that screwed all their little bellies up.
UV, he's everywhere. He's everywhere.
No, but I could definitely see that. I mean, it reminds me, to be honest, high school. You got your jocks that hang out. You got the emos that hang out. In pickleball, it's really
your emos.
Okay, who are the emos? Who's the emo? Who's the emo of the MLP? Back to you, Colin.
Our song gets pretty emo. Remember this one?
Yeah. Anyway. I was just diversifying the different clubs / connections. There's no one emo that I can point out in the current MLP, but I'll just say it gets clicky, and that's how life is. You meet friends that you play sport with, and you have some different, if you, Joey Wild, found someone that was a gamer that play video games, you'd probably be hanging out with that person on and off the court a little bit more.
Yeah, potentially. I don't play games anymore. I quit them for pickleball, but
Smart man.
yeah, I mean, if anyone else wants to join the like super smart and handsome crew, I'm here.
Totally.
They
Yeah. By
can-
the
they
way,
can
what
hang
were
out.
you what were you doing on December 7th?
No, but
All right, fine. I'll quit. That was the best timed little button smash you did there, Adam. Look at you go.
Can I ask, what did everyone think about Harsh Mehta getting MVP? Was he a worthy recipient of
controversial in my heart.
MVP? Okay, who would you have otherwise
I
picked?
would have gone with the skipper, Summer.
Summer? Okay.
She performed at a very high level and was very, the Smile Assassin. Summer the Smile Assassin. That should be her new nickname because like when it's crunch time in a game, I'm like biting my lips. I'm just like super angry. She's over there smiling, just having a good old time. Like, this is what it's all about. I love this sport. And she really motivates her team, and I feel like she should have definitely won it.
Joey?
Yeah, I'd probably give it to Summer as well. But not to take anything away from Harsh. I don't know how each player individually did across the weekend. So maybe I can't comment on that. But yeah, Summer's energy is pretty good. Did she win any MVPs in season 1?
No.
I feel like it was Nelson and the Rose. Yeah, I feel like she's deserving of one.
Yeah, absolutely.
In fact, so now everyone's won except for the captain, the MVP, which is strange. You would think the captain would be the first to get it.
I do think, well, first of all,
Captain
Adam,
gets that bonus check anyway, so
Adam,
she don't give a shit.
True.
Quick question, Adam. Do you know who decides the MVP?
It is a collective. I can tell you the commentary team does get a vote in it.
Ooh.
Huge.
But I believe there's an odd number of parties. There might be as many as 5 parties that get a vote. But yeah,
Gotcha.
I have
Right.
voted on it before.
Nice. Okay, because I was going to say, like, Harsh, during the Gold Coast, he went undefeated, right? Went 4-0?
Yes.
And I'm just worried that they thought about that, like, wow, he played so good there, and now he's carried that over to this tournament rather than,
maybe. I mean, personally, I thought Willy Chung couldn't have done more. Maybe he was held back by the fact that he didn't play all matches, but I actually don't think that should really come into it. Like, literally, if he didn't play the way he played, 1, they don't get into the final. 2, they probably don't win the final. So should he not be MVP? He shouldn't be necessarily held back from that. So what about you, Ty?
Well, do you think he's a guarantee pick now for next?
If he wants to nominate.
Surely. Well, was he?
We don't believe he was on the list. I could find it, but yeah, we don't believe he was on the list. Okay. But yeah, Harsh, you thought he was MVP worthy, or
why not?
Okay,
sure,
he played pretty well all weekend. So.
But and Andy too. She played amazing as well. She should get definitely some kudos the way that she performed.
Yeah, she did. She did play really solid. I mean, to be honest, in a losing team, I thought Jamie Way was phenomenal. Like, she played incredible to bring them back, to get into the Dreambreaker situation. Like, it would have been uncharacteristic to see someone get MVP on a losing team, but God, I think the way she performed, she could have been in the conversation.
Yeah. I mean, there was, her and George Wall, great combo in mixed doubles. And I feel like Wall made a few uncharacteristic mistakes, and she really got him over the line to get that victory, which was a nut cruncher. Like, down 2-1 and then be able to tie it, that was amazing.
I think that's plenty of recap for Vietnam. But I wanted to ask you a question because you've been playing, Joey, since just about COVID time, and you've seen paddles go from little shit smackers.
This could transition in nicely to my People Who segment.
Well,
can I hit a button?
Hit the button.
Well, what button is that?
Or it's just a transition button. But then as soon as this finishes, Colin, if you could just give us the People Who intro, because I don't have that locked in yet. So here we go, transition. And
what is it?
Well, your version of
I'll make something up.
Slam jam!
People who, we hate the things they do. People who.
You're getting better at that. That's got to be at least top 10.
I'm going to put some music to the back of that, maybe mash in like some sort of like horn.
Whoa.
You love the horn? I'll put the horn in that.
Yeah, put the horn in.
Whoa. He's the resident
you do it
DJ.
yourself. Can you
He's the
can
resident
you do us
DJ.
something up?
Yeah. Could you just play my bloody song that I created
Tell
again?
him
God
to
dang
F
it.
off right away.
You finish your question, and I might interject because I've got a people who
So,
talks about paddle.
Before we get into people who these paddles from how we started to where they're at now,
Used to be cutting boards.
basically, yeah.
Wooden
What do you
planks.
what do you think?
You talking about the
Where should
Selkirk
it-
that he hits with?
Where
the
should
cheese
it
board?
end? Do you want to see paddles continuing to like increase pop and this, and that, or do you think there needs to be a line drawn? Where do you stand with that, Joey Wild?
I think there definitely has to be a line drawn. I'm in the old school crowd, maybe since I picked the game up early. But yeah, paddle technology at the moment's a bit silly.
Mm.
It's a bit silly.
Are you sponsored by a paddle?
Yeah, Franklin.
Oh.
Thankfully, I'm sponsored by the best paddle in pickleball, which
Well,
is just crazy.
Why? So since losing Ben Johns, what's made them still relevant, you reckon?
Franklin, well, they have history prior to pickleball. They're big into baseball, I believe, in the US.
Big baseball.
So they're established as a company and they know how to do it right. They stand by their products. They don't release anything before they've tested it out properly. The paddles I play with specifically, some people with certain paddles go through one every 4 matches, and I use one every 3 months.
There you go.
So they make a good paddle that lasts.
Nice and D-lammed.
And doesn't break the bank. So
Have you been to their facility yet?
I haven't. I've seen it. I've seen it on Jay Grewal's story, and it looked insane. So if I ever get a chance to head over to the northeast of the US, I'd want to check it out because it looks sick.
I mean, I think you've won a few more medals than Jay, so I reckon your
It's not a
opportunity.
competition.
Your opportunity to get over there is definitely.
Well, you would think an agent would have that teed up for you, because I could tell you that Colin would definitely have you on the
I've
first
been a bit
flight
busy
there.
to head to the US. That's the only reason. But hey, shout out actually Franklin, now available in Rebel Sport.
Nice.
You can
Your
finally get
actual
pickleball
paddle?
paddles and balls in Rebel Sport.
Your paddle.
My paddle.
Nice.
What do you hit with? What sort of model are we talking?
Franklin FS Tour Dynasty 14mm.
If I buy it, will you sign it?
Yeah. I'll sign it.
Will you
Actually,
s-
I'm
and
surprised
then you
my
won't be able to
signature's
play
not
with
on
it.
yet.
And I can play with it.
No, you won't be
sure.
able
Oh,
to.
I won't be able to.
You'll,
Yeah,
have,
yeah.
you'll have done something to the surface and the ref say no.
So
Forbidden fruit.
Should we go to people who?
Yeah, people who. My people who is people who hit with the mod TA15. I'm getting very specific.
Sounds like a airplane.
The way that paddle sounds makes my blood boil the same way when I smell cigarette smoke around me. I can't stand it. You know what I'm talking about? The mod 15. It makes that like pop sound. I
Yeah.
can't stand it.
You're not alone.
That's it. Oh, yeah.
Is that a YOLO?
Yep. I just can't stand it.
Anyone not playing with that paddle hates the paddle.
Like, I mean,
Simple as
to
that.
be honest, if I got given one, I reckon I'd be the 25% better player than everyone tells you can be with that paddle.
Do you know?
I'm ready. I'm ready to go. Like, I can't be fucked spending my own money on it. That's why I haven't done it. But I actually think it does make you better. I'll say
Really?
that. Yeah.
Now, how many
Okay.
MLP players are using it? Lucas is
A
one.
handful.
Oh, more than just Lucas?
I've noticed they're transitioning now to that 3S, I think it is called.
3S.
So,
It's pretty much the same thing, just 5% less power. Takes.
I mean, I don't blame
game longer to
players who are sponsored from
No.
using it in a way.
Absolutely.
But you know what's funny? You go and have a rec hit and no one's bought that paddle except for that one jerk off. You know? Like it's
Fucking
not,
Larry.
no one wants to spend $400 on a freaking paddle. Even though it actually appears to make you better.
Yeah, some of the
does-
some of the pro players are using that aren't signed with a company, and a lot in the US as well. If they're not signed, they're picking up that that paddle to just get a little bit better.
Now, Joey, I'm just going to be buying you some time because you know how people who work. So I want you to think about yours, but I'm going to move into mine. And this is people who say sorry all the time when they fuck up, hit it in the net, hit it long, and they feel the need to tell their partner sorry. So I want to kind of move that into a question. What's the appropriate amount of sorry? Because I can see like how in the beginning of a match and you tee one up as a dink and they slam it at your partner, you say sorry. Do you do that all the time? How many sorries is too much?
I reckon you only say sorry if your partner gets body bagged.
Body bag, body bag, body bag.
Other than that, you really don't need to use sorry at all.
Well, okay. Let's keep going on this just briefly, because if it's you, I don't need to say sorry. We've played together forever, right?
I would
it's
like it if you did, though.
I still don't say sorry. But if you're like saying traveling and you go and that you tee one up just too high, you say sorry. But there's certain players who say sorry too much, where I'm just like, it's like it becomes like scratching on.
Are you playing with a lot of Canadians or something?
No.
Okay.
No.
Maybe you just put too much pressure on the players you're playing with, Ty, there.
You know who's a I'm sorry person?
That I would know?
Yeah, you would know her.
Okay.
And she's lovely. She actually is. It's Sarah's sister Beck. She's I'm sorry.
She doesn't need to say sorry because she's actually really good.
Because she's really good.
Yeah.
Have you ever told someone, hey, like, don't worry about saying sorry?
No.
Just be
Never.
better.
No one's been over the top apologetic.
Okay, well, I'm sorry.
You're at a different rank.
Called being a supporter.
He's at a different rank than
Your
us.
people is people that say sorry too much.
Too much,
It's
yeah.
just not necessary.
Yeah.
That's
All
good.
right.
Exactly.
I'm going to give you a little bit more time here, Joey.
Yeah, sure.
So my
Appreciate
people who, you know, a lot of times I want to play pickleball and I enjoy playing it. But sometimes when the competition is at the highest level, I like to watch it. And when I do watch it, I like to watch pickleball. I'm like, my time frame of watching it is short. You know, I want to watch it, then go to the grocery store. So when I watch a game, and there is now in Vietnam, there looked like there was a lot of water breaks because it was so hot. Fair enough. And there's some medical breaks, I think 2 medical breaks. But during every medical break and every water break, if a player goes to a medic and looks to get his wrist looked at while I'm trying to watch it and then go grocery shopping, I'm just saying people who take advantage of the water break for a wrist injury. Anyone want to?
Who the fuck would do that?
That's despicable.
My time's actually up here, fellas. I take cash or check.
Can you elaborate what actually happened with your wrist? Was it
in the
a
mixed
sprain or something?
No, it was weird. Danny and I, we were cooking all day. Don't think we dropped a game. I don't think we lost more than 5 points maybe in any one game on the way to the final. And then I think maybe it's just the nature of the tournament being so long, the heat, the days being so like warm up, cool down. I don't know. I got out there for the final for the warm up. I couldn't like flick my wrist. Couldn't like control any action in my wrist, which turns out is a pretty important part of playing pickleball,
I'd say.
So I could push just fine, but anything like flick related, forehand, backhand, couldn't control it. And so game 1, we go down like 2-9. It's because I've dumped 7 balls into the net. Unreal. And so I shouldn't have left it that long, but yeah, medical timeout. I just told the physios, bless them. I love those physio girls. I was like, whatever you can do to like get me some feeling back in my wrist and hand, like please just have at it. And it worked. It worked for like 5 minutes, and then it just like fell asleep again. And then so every opportunity I could, I was running over to the physio booth, getting it worked on. And Amelia took a medical timeout. I think she had a knee issue, and I was like, "Fuck yeah!"
At the risk
get me
of
back into the booth.
At the risk of being racist, do they offer you any extras?
No, they flew out some Australian physios to the event.
I don't think
what extras are you talking about?
I don't think that would be racist. I just think it would be racial.
Welcome.
I will say you were efficient because when they're like, all right, it's time to go, I see you jump over
I was legging it.
the banner, over the median.
Joey,
and next
you'd
thing
be
you know,
one of
we're
those
ready.
guys in soccer who really takes a flop, wouldn't you?
No.
You would just take the
No,
flop,
don't
you'd
pay me
lay
like
there.
that. Absolutely not.
You wouldn't get the yellow card and you just jump up and start sprinting again, wouldn't
Trip
you?
over myself and ask for a penalty.
Because I was watching it obviously as an outsider. I was like, why does he just tape it? Like, because I didn't know what the injury was. Because I came in and I just assumed you would have like fell and you might have sprained it. So I was just like, why does he just tape it? But I will say, if you tape your wrist, you don't get that flick motion. You're kind of just really stuck to it.
Yeah, there was no pain whatsoever. It was just asleep. Physios were saying maybe like some nerve issue from the weekend or something. I just, couldn't get any feeling into it. And so every time out I was legging it. And I listened back to some of the commentary from it, and they're just nonstop talking about me and my bloody wrist. It's kind of annoying.
Yeah, well, that was my people who, I don't know if you've ever been in a situation like that.
I've never caught myself in anything like that.
So we're ready for your people. Who,
Well,
Joey?
I'll buy you time unless you want to go.
Oh, you guys just spy me all the time.
I'll buy you time because you might get inspired by any one of.
I actually
what
had
we've
one
been saying.
preloaded.
Oh, here
Okay,
we go.
very good. All right, well, I'll finish with mine then. You
Sure.
go.
Sure.
Joey Wild's people who?
Wait, does it have to be pickleball related?
No.
Okay.
Could be general
People
life.
who, when you're stuck in a metal tube for a number of hours with other people who just cough non-stop.
Sounds like the one that you said, like the apology.
Cough
But you're on a
non-stop.
plane
It's
recently.
a
I'm
fucking
I
assuming.
wanna
cough,
know
Joey.
how
They
I'm-
could be sick.
I want to know how I'm
What
on
about fart?
I'm on a plane.
Farting okay?
I'm on a plane back from Vietnam, and of the maybe 100 people that are
Actually,
around
this
me,
isn't a
20
subtle
of
message to your wife, is it?
20 of them are coughing.
Were you on planes with Wes?
No.
With bronchitis?
No, but I might have bronchitis brewing up in me now.
Yeah, right.
20 people coughing all night long on this
All
plane.
night.
Like, people who...
There was a chorus of
Did,
coughs.
Look,
keeping
you're
you
allowed
up.
to be sick, but just not near me, okay?
That's a quick. So you can hold in a sneeze, right? You hold your nose. You can technically hold in a fart, but how do you hold in a cough? You kind of gotta cough it out.
Just cough into your, upper
Do it
arm or
quietly.
something.
Like that.
Not out loud.
Do
Not
an
into your
e-course.
hand
You should
either.
do an
Silent.
e-course
There's
on
so
that.
many things that happen on planes that is just annoying. Kids,
I get really gassy on planes.
Do ya?
I just, yeah.
Yeah, you look like a ball of gas.
I just do.
just
I
let
hope
it
you're not
rip.
coming to China on December 7th.
He's got.
What are you doing on December 7th?
Goes back to the third bite.
Adam, you got a people's who?
I got the last people who I reckon. This is a variation of one that's been a people who before, but it is distinctly different, I think. Over the top screaming and cheering from a teammate that did minimal work in the rally and didn't even finish the point. Let's just say this one really gives me the schmitz.
Gives you the what, Adam?
You heard what I said. You can rewind. You can rewind right now, 15 seconds, and you'll get the punchline.
Schmitz.
Wow, you've narrowed down your people's who.
Oh, my gosh.
I didn't see that live, but I could definitely see how that would give me the people's who.
Adam's pressing buttons.
Slam jam.
Boys, I've got a new segment, and I think you'll bloody love it. Here's this thing.
What I want, yeah, I get it. Yeah, that's right, I said it. Live the life you wish you had. Sugar, spice, and everything. But bad girls like it tough. Don't you wish you could roll it up? Lots of haters can't get enough. Welcome to the Bad Girls Club. Bad Girls.
Bad Girls Club is dedicated to the paddle throwers. And from the games of MLP I watched, I caught Katie Hart against the Crocs, Amelia Schmidt against the Crocs, and Danielle Townsend against the Fast Forwards. Was I missing anyone, do you think?
Yeah, I definitely sold Shelby throw her paddle
She
into the
threw
net.
her paddle as well.
Oh, for
Did
sure.
you see any females throw their paddles?
Does it have to be female? Because could a male maybe break
Well,
a paddle?
we got the boys covered. Don't worry, I ain't
Okay.
no sexist pig.
Okay, good.
Did I miss anyone?
No, you mentioned all the ones that I saw.
Amelia's was a record breaker, I reckon. I reckon she was standing in the middle of the court waiting to say, good game, in inverted commas, wink, wink. She just lost. She was standing mid-court and she just threw it to the sideline. Now, it didn't hit anyone or do anything, but just a bad look.
Yeah. Never fun when you're not a sponsored athlete. I would never throw my paddle because
Well-
that's my only paddle I have.
I'm all for it. I think there should be more paddle throwing.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Absolutely. Let it out. What
There's
the heck?
cards. There's cards now that prevent you from participating in the tournament further if you get a red card. You're a goner.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah, the refs were giving us a talking to, saying if your paddle hits the floor, you're in trouble.
Wow.
Lose a point, second time you're out of there.
Can I add one to this bad girl segment?
Yep.
I don't know if you saw, but Danny versus Rose. And Danny went for a body bag on Rose, and Rose had a quick reaction. And Danny thought she got the point, so she yelled, "Yeah!" But I slow-moed and watched the video, and it looked like it hit the handle of Rose's paddle and went back over. And she didn't play because she thought she got the point. She thought she body bagged her. And it was very controversial, kind of bad girl segment style.
Well, it ended up being a distraction call, so it went against Danny.
Bad girl.
So ironically, she should have kept her mouth shut and she wouldn't have got the distraction call.
Those are the toughest calls to make, I think, in pickleball. You just have to trust the person that hit it because the ball's moving so fast you can't tell where it hit them on now.
You just got to play through.
Yeah.
I think Rose's character was brought into question by the hustle.
Oh, they thought she was lying, right? Because she was. Based on the slow-mo video I saw, I thought it was just off the handle of the paddle. And what's the rule? If the hand in motion is in play, like if it hits your fingers that's holding the paddle and goes back over, it still counts.
Yeah, I think it's like a cricket bat. Like whatever's actually holding the paddle is part of the paddle. So if it hits your, say, knuckles and goes over, well, that's attached to the actual handle, so that's part of the paddle.
Because the way
So
the
let's play on.
ball popped up, it had no speed to it.
There might have been a sound that Danny heard to make her feel or think the way she did, but yeah, I think some words were exchanged that maybe some people should regret, to be honest, because I think to question Rose's character was that's pretty rough.
Joey, are there any rules in pickleball that you want to see changed?
Apart from the paddles that are crazy powerful and make everyone hit the ball hard.
Or is there a rule that you'd like to introduce? Either one of those.
It's a very on-the-spot question.
Yep.
I don't know if you
maybe-
know this, we're on the spot
Yeah,
kind of podcast.
maybe de-weaponizing the serve a little bit. Maybe just...
What does that look like?
Do you want to bring the spin back?
Maybe just... No, goodness.
That was the worst.
You
Get
need
that
to look
out
up
of here.
what de-weaponize means, I think.
Yeah.
Oh, de-weaponize.
De-weaponize.
You were thinking re-weaponize?
Re-weaponize.
Yeah, just bring the serve as
What
like a
would
push.
that actually realistically look like?
No idea.
Well,
It'd look ugly. It'd be like a drop serve or something.
I think a lot of people
one would
are
think
getting
it's
a little bit generous with where they're hitting the serves too. I think that's
Above the
often
hip.
overlooked now
Yeah.
because there are some absolute rippers
above the hip and hitting them very flat.
and
stuff.
jumping as well. So you think that would be one rule that maybe
Yeah, I
could
think
look
that's
at?
that's a rule they're definitely looking at the US to see like what direction do we want it to go.
I thought the spin, that's when I almost wanted to quit pickleball. One, because I couldn't do it, but then two, you just look like you
You're
almost
just getting
couldn't-
aced by
on some people, you
Ollie
just couldn't
Gray.
get the point started. Like Ollie Gray. He was one of them. There was a couple
Yeah,
of no good
I remember
guys. who were
Ty's
just-
feedback is like, look at her chest, and whatever way her chest is pointing,
That's
the ball
where
will
the
go
ball
in the
spins.
other direction.
Yeah.
And I'm like, oh, okay.
Yeah.
And it didn't help me at all because all I was doing
You
was
were just
looking at her
distracted.
chest. Yeah.
That was a good one that they got rid of. But is there any other rule?
No clue.
Nah.
I like pickleball. It's a
Yeah.
good game.
I think realistically the drop serve would solve a lot of problems, but it would probably make the game look a whole lot uglier.
More geriatric.
The one thing I do like that they did is when it used to hit off the net, and then it would be you lose that serve. But now if it hits off the net and goes in to whatever you call that area outside the kitchen, it's game on.
Now there's two sets of rules with that because when I was playing in Bali, I had played it and they go, no. But actually here they go, it's a reset, it's a redo.
That's in the States, right? They do a
PPA
let.
tour in the US, they do let
Yeah,
reserve it.
which
Oh,
I
right.
don't like. I reckon like
Just play
you should be required to react to that ball landing in and being a playable serve. If it tags the net and like falls well short, well then you still got a chance.
Yeah.
I actually don't like the let. I think it should be the way that we play it. Now, not to be outdone, the boys. Well, they weren't saints. They weren't saints.
So why are you acting like a bloody fool? If you get hot, then you must get cool. Bad boys, what you gonna do? Or what you gonna do when they come for you? Bad boys.
Fairbanks paddle snap over the knee at the end of their 0-4 drubbing at the hands of the Glory.
Can we talk about that?
Yes, it brought a young girl to tears, we're told.
I saw that. And you know what was the worst part about it? He didn't even do it on the first knee hit. He had to do it again on the second one. Like, that is demoralizing.
I think he did it, but the handle kind of just held on, so he had to go again.
Oh, if you're a paddle sponsor of that guy, you'd be like, what are you doing, man? Like, well, come on.
Who was the girl that was crying?
It's my little niece, our little niece Nora.
Nora Massand.
Yeah.
She
saw
couldn't
that.
believe. She looked up to Alex.
Really?
She looked at him like he
Well,
was
it was
one of her
Vish
heroes.
that caused the reaction. Wasn't
Wow.
No, it was Vish's fault. We had a chat with him about it.
it? Vish just being too good at pickleball.
Yep, that's what we said.
But I will say that's the first time he's ever really acted out like that I've seen.
Yeah, maybe.
Maybe the
Is
heat.
he a hothead?
I reckon the heat
Joey?
got to a lot
No?
of people.
No, not Fish. Alex, is he a hothead?
No.
I reckon
So
the
that was-
heat.
You didn't think that
He's
was
one
gonna,
of the chillest dudes on tour.
you didn't think that you thought that was way out of character. What he's normally
Well, he's a
like.
tennis player, so I'm sure there's a little bit of that in everyone.
What about his
All five
outfits
of
that
them.
he wears outside of the courts? Do you think
You're talking about the recent photo in Vietnam? The red shorts?
there's
Guy
a
is
few?
looking
I got a
fresh.
screenshot of it.
Oh my gosh.
He looks like Will Smith and the Prince.
Looks
Gordo,
great.
Gordo and Marcel are in his DMs right now saying, "Hey, where'd you get those shorts, bro?"
If he wore those on stream, the viewership would go up, I'm sure.
Big time.
Yeah, he's
Leave
got style.
Gordon
He's,
out of this,
he's
mate.
fashionable. That should be another segment.
Mate, there were some other boys. Let's talk about
else?
Kyle Yates and his run-in with Glorious,
The mascot.
the mascot
What?
for the Glory.
What did he do? I didn't see
Well,
any of this.
Very interesting.
Not my Florida boy.
interaction.
Not my Florida boy.
We're told that Kyle didn't really take well to the cheering of Glorious, of course, the Gold Coast Glory mascot. Now, we shouldn't probably name who's in the outfit, right? But he's
Could be anyone.
Well, yeah,
someone
it's a mascot
very close to the Glory
team. Yeah,
captain, you could say.
because the mascot's always a myth. You never know who's inside
Yes,
that. Little,
correct.
Yeah.
Anyway, so Kyle didn't like the cheering,
Or was it the
He-
noodle pumping? You know how they have the
The
noodle
drum.
The drum.
I think
yes.
it was the drum.
Yes.
Yeah, I think it was the drum. Anyway, he wanted Glorious to be removed from the courts. Big
Really?
call. Big call.
Huge call.
MLP format.
Let's be honest. Like, it's atmosphere.
Yeah, have fun. Chill out. Anyway, he called for him to be removed. Now, PPA, they had a chat with Glorious. They didn't tell Glorious that he had to leave,
Okay.
but Glorious took it upon. I don't want to misgender someone, but I don't want to identify someone by gender. What do you
Cross-gender?
say?
Cross-gender.
Okay. This cross-gender decided to remove themselves without being asked by PPA. They were spoken to by PPA,
Took
but
the
they
high
weren't,
road.
where they
Took
weren't
the high
told.
road.
Yep, out of respect for the Glory team and also the Breakers, they told me. But there was an interaction between the two. Some words were exchanged.
No curse words.
And ultimately one party told the other party, to maybe go and have a long walk off a short bridge. And the bird was exchanged as well by one person.
Was this all on camera or is this anonymous source?
A lot of it was on camera, yeah.
Okay.
Anyway, so Glorious left. The Glory won. Smashed him.
Got the last
0-4.
laugh.
Ironically, the person who normally wears Glorious was on the side of the court. And then all of a sudden, Glorious was also in uniform. And it was a bit of a, shall I say, a bit of a head fuck for Kyle. He was like, what's going on here?
Wow.
And guess who was, I'm going to say who was in Glorious the second time round. It was Rob Cassidy.
The player.
The player, the super sub. And there's a moment of sheer humor where Glory win a point. He jumps up like the Toyota ad. The helmet falls off, goes onto the court. So he hurdles over the fence to retrieve the helmet quickly before the next point plays. I didn't meet Rob Cassidy. Obviously, I wasn't over there. But did you meet him? And what was he like? Because everything I've heard about him is he's a legend.
I didn't have a full-on chat with him, but he was a great guy. We exchanged some words briefly. And yeah, he's funny. He's a funny bugger.
Oh, on the court?
Yeah, well, I mean, we didn't play against each other, but he
okay.
was supporting me and I was supporting him.
Oh, nice.
Like everyone does.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, good guy.
Well, yeah.
I didn't realize it was him in the glorious suit the second time.
Yeah,
around.
it was. Joey, what was the Vietnam surface like? And I guess my question in a serious tone would be, were you happy with what PPA and MLP did in the end, and how did they handle it?
Yeah, the surface was pretty rubbish.
On what day?
On the first day.
Which
was I got there, that was Thursday. So
non-tournament day.
Warm-up day.
You're saying first day, but
Yeah.
it was a non-tournament day,
Yeah.
Thursday, yeah.
Yeah, on the Thursday, it wasn't great, very slick. But I had heard that in the days leading up, for people who got there on Monday and Tuesday, they said, hey, it's basically like a painted surface. It's just the balls sliding around. Some people were sliding around too. I'm not one to skid on the court, but some people were as well. Thursday night hits and PPA/MLP make the call to resurface the courts very last minute. But shout out to them. They on the fly they got something done which helped. They put a sand layer on top of the courts, which made a little bit of a difference. The ball definitely wasn't skidding where they put the sand. So for thinking on the fly, they did pretty well. It was either that or move the tournament 3 hours away to Ho Chi Minh, which I don't know if that would have been a good contingency.
There would have been some drop off, you think? There would have been some people who were like, fuck it.
Yeah. Leaving the resort and having to go back into the city would have been a no-no. So I think they did the best with what they had, to be fair.
Yeah, I think it could have been a disaster, to be honest, if on that Friday morning they woke up and these courts were wet.
The paint hadn't dried.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think shout out to the Vietnamese people working through the night to try and fix the courts.
Just shows what productivity you can get abroad, right?
Mm-hmm.
I could picture Ty out there
all
night,
throwing
down sand.
That would have helped your wrist.
Thank you.
All right.
Very proud of you.
On the, I guess, some talking points, does PPA and MLP Australia need to look at flipping the schedule for their events, and instead of maybe having PPA start in the morning and finish in the afternoon, have MLP start in the morning, or something even more radical? Because it's a quarter to midnight and there's no fans in the crowd on a Saturday night to watch a match that ends in the Dream Breaker. I'm talking about the Mavs versus the Hustle. It's too late, and I reckon MLP is the best product, and the players have to basically cheer for themselves. What are your thoughts on the scheduling?
Yeah, this is actually a suggestion that I've made to MLP between seasons, was that maybe try chucking MLP on in the morning to get the best out of the players. I know for me, both my MLP matches this time around were at like 9 p.m, which normally I'm winding down to go to sleep. I'm in bed by like 9:30, 10 normally. So I'm out there playing a little bit like a zombie after a full PPA day to then take a huge break, back up at 9 p.m. It's kind of cooked. It's not getting the best product, I don't think. And it's not an even playing field as well. Like if some players don't go deep, or if they take the PPA event off, then they're fresh come the evening. Whereas, and again, like a 4 p.m. start time versus a 9 p.m. start time for someone like me is huge versus, say, a 7 a.m. versus 11 a.m. It's not a huge difference there, I'd think. So, yeah, I would like to see them put the MLP events in the morning. That way it evens it out.
Yeah,
and get some more viewership as well. I feel like people would want to come along and watch it in the middle of the day rather than at Sunday at 8 p.m. or something.
I think especially that Friday, there's a lot of players taking that decision to not play singles because they just want to keep their bodies fresh for MLP.
Yeah, it's a tough decision to have to make because you want to do well in the PPAs. There's some money on the line there, but MLP, there's more money. And if you do well in singles, it ruins the rest of your weekend. So in Vietnam, I played 2 rounds of singles. After the first round, I almost had heat stroke, like I was on the ground with chills. And then it was kind of a good thing that I got knocked out second round because then I had something left for the rest of the day or the weekend. So Mitch, for example, on the Gold Coast when it was just as hot almost, had a huge run in singles on the Friday, and then you've got to expect him to then back up the rest of that evening. It's it's a bit tricky.
Something even more radical, could it be where you have, the rounds of, say, singles, mixed, gender in the morning, and then you stop when you get your teams who make it to the semi-final? You would then start the MLP, go through the rounds there, and anyone who's competing in semi-finals after MLP, well, you have to keep playing through. I look at that from the point of view of, for everyone who starts playing, say you're playing in the gender doubles on the Saturday, you got 50, 60 plus players on either gender starting matches, and then they're expected to play all the way through to the final, but they slowly drop off. Like, when your final was happening with George, for example, there was players that got bundled out in round 2, round 3, so on, and then they have to come and play MLP. Like, I think it could be better done maybe if there was a break between the two. And I'm only thinking from the product at the end of the day, then you'd be able to have MLP happening, and then you have semi-finals and a final happening all in prime time sort of slot. But would that be too cumbersome on the players that will, like yourself, who might feature at that pointy end and play semis and finals?
That might be difficult in terms of flip-flopping between the two different events and regular scoring, rally scoring, going back and forth on the one day. But, I mean, you might as well try it. I feel like...
Can I play devil's advocate and say, well, if you're getting paid as a professional, you should be able to handle that?
Yeah.
Or is that a
No,
mean
that's true.
point of view in a way?
Low blow.
How much are we getting paid, though?
Not enough? Are you saying you're
Never
not getting
enough.
paid enough?
Never enough. A good thing could be to do some events on the Thursday evening.
Which has been discussed.
Which
And
has been discussed.
I think is a fair way down the road of probably happening by the sounds.
Yeah, well, it's a bit of a seesaw because you've got some players that, like myself, still working full time.
Yep.
That can't give up an extra day to get there earlier for a tournament, especially when you're traveling. But then that would make the rest of the weekend easier. Then the tournament, the event has to book the courts out for another day. There's some issues there.
Is there a notion of a championship Sunday that might work?
Not that I've heard of, but I'm not
Would
against
you?
that.
Well, yeah. I guess in theory, would you be supportive? Because I guess
be down for it.
for someone like you, you could be in. You'd have to play a semi-final on the Sunday for MLP. Then you play the final, and then if you're good enough, you're playing gender doubles final, mixed doubles finals, and maybe even a singles final. So you're playing 5 very competitive formats there. Well, sorry, no, 4 competitive formats, but 5 matches because you got the 2 MLP.
Yeah, that's a big day. It's tough to think about.
I mean, from a broadcast point of view, I'd love to be able to tune in on
That'd be
Sunday
juicy.
and know that's what's going down. But I think from a player point of view at this stage, that'd be too much.
Yeah, from a fan's perspective, it'd be great to just tune in on Sunday and be like, okay, this is the cream of the crop. I can watch Sunday. If I'm going to watch at one point all weekend, just make it Sunday and I'll know I'm getting some high quality pickle on the court. Yeah, I feel like that's something that maybe in 2025, the different tours will kind of play around and see what works.
Yeah. I feel like and this might be like keeping on with this sort of serious tone, we'll try and make some light of it, but we need to talk about this bombshell announcement between PWR and NPL here in Australia. We did touch on it, but I just want to read some direct quotes so that people can get themselves up to speed with what we're talking about here from the press release. So PWR and NPL have today confirmed a partnership that establishes NPL as the exclusive and official tournament and league provider for the Oceania region in 2025. Through this partnership, NPL's leagues and tournaments will now be part of the PWR structure, allowing NPL players to earn points towards their PWR ranking and assist in qualifying for PWR World Series. PWR is home to a newly created Pickleball World Rankings, along with the PWR World Tour and PWR World Series as a unified global ranking system. PWR offers a clear path for pickleballers to play and earn ranking points by competing in regional events. So in a nutshell, as a PPA MLP contracted person right now your contract extends to the end of this year, right? So we're talking about 2025. If your contract for 2024 is the same for 2025, you wouldn't be able to play in these NPL tournaments, which would get you PWR points.
Right.
You've told me that you're traveling to China because it's a PWR event and you're after these points and you understand, I guess, the lucrative nature of the PWR, tournaments, right? On face value, how are you feeling about that announcement and how it might affect you? Or is it all up in the air because realistically a lot could change in 2025?
Yeah, I mean, it's a huge announcement because we touched on it earlier. PWR, they're offering something huge that directly affects Australian players, and it's not just something that you have to go to the US for. So it's really tantalizing, I guess, for Australian players to have something so close, this big. With the NPL partnering with them, that's huge for them. It was a bit of a shame this year not being able to play in NPL tournaments, but PPA and MLP put on great tournaments for us. They've done well by the players, I think. So all this just leads to exciting opportunities for Australian players, and I think you might have some players going here or there next year, but we don't even know what PPA and MLP are planning for next year. We don't have a schedule out for them. So it's hard to kind of think of where myself or anyone else would be without kind of knowing what all the cards are that are on the table. But, you know, this PWR thing's pretty big.
Yeah. And money talks. And if I was in your position, I would pick any avenue that would favor me financially. I mean, a lot of players, as we spoke upon, they have a day job. And at the end of the day, this is kind of that side hustle with a lot of potential to hopefully venture off into the States and play in the leagues out there. And it'll be interesting to see what the MLP has to offer. They have a big decision on their hands. But, yeah, it's to be honest, it's benefiting the sport of pickleball here in Oceania.
Yeah, look, I'm of the view right now that we should just all get along. Like, you know what I mean? Like, because
why can't we be friends? Why can't we be friends?
The thing is, because it's not as massive as it is in the States, right? And what they're doing I mean, we've only just had professional leagues for a little over a year, and now there's a division. Like, it's not big enough yet to have these divisions, and which side of the fence are you on? It's unfair to people who, you know, only a year and a half ago, there was no prize money for any tournament. Now there's some. So give people an opportunity. Like, I don't like any of this exclusivity talk. It's very corporate bullshit. I think at where we're at right now, people should just be playing whenever and as much as they want. But people in these companies primarily are looking at this long-term thing and trying to see who has the biggest nuts.
Yeah.
But it's a detriment. I think right now it's a detriment right now. This is my opinion, but it is, you know, starting to bring more people to pickleball because it's all about money, money, money. And really no one's going to be able to ever make less than they are now. But I just wish that they would just open up the gates and let the best players play in as many tournaments as humanly possible. Because the money's not life-changing yet.
Yeah. The competition between these organizations, you know, it gives a lot of these opportunities and excitement, money being thrown around. But I'm kind of in your corner, Ty, where for me, the game in Australia of pickleball is so top-heavy at the moment with pros. I'd like to think about it as like a pyramid where you have this many like local players that have no idea about the pro game, and then so many 3-0s and 4-0s and 5-0s, and it gets smaller and smaller as you get to the top. But I feel like there's no foundation yet that has grown on. It's kind of like the live streams for the tournaments are getting 100 people watching. Like, we're fighting over 100 people to watch the tournaments, whereas we need to build pickleball from its roots. Otherwise, you know, the money can be splashed around and just disappear in a couple of years. You never know. Or it's just going to be in another country. Like, pickleball is going to be huge in the US and India, but in Australia it's never going to take off because, you know, everyone's fighting amongst each other rather than, you know, growing the game from the ground up. So, yeah, I just want to play as much pickleball as possible. That's kind of been...
Yeah, I think for the PPA, MLP, and even NPL, like, they're invested capital into...
that's correct.
You know, their brands and their events. And like you said, a year ago, there wasn't prize money like there is prize money now. And to your point, Joey, where there's no grassroots at all, like, it's literally becoming more about money. And for players to be in a position where they have to choose is tough. For players to be in a position where they have to sign these agreements where there is exclusivity clauses, and whether or not those players actually understand what that means. I feel like there's players that are too young, and therefore there's not enough money in it right now to bother getting some representation. Like, you have some representation, but you're also one of the top money earners from this season or this year, right? There's players that, you know, just are too naive to think or to understand that they might need some help. And I think this is just going to get murkier. So it's going to be, really interesting.
I'm in a blessed position where, you know, I don't need pickleball to go successfully for me to have, you know, a stable income because of my job. It would be nice. Like, obviously I have the goal that sometime I can transition to full-time pickleball and build a career out of that. But there's some players, you know, who they're pretty young. They don't have a job. They're doing coaching on the side. That they see the money and they're like, well, I need to go where the money goes. And you're right. To be fair, that they're both organizations trying to build their own brands, and PPA, MLP are throwing a lot of money at the players, so they want that to come back, and they are investing a lot in us, and they've done a lot, to build the image. Like the events are really well put on, and they feel like professional tournaments. We'll see.
We will see. It's interesting. This one over in India, it's happening literally right now. By the time we publish this podcast, the event would have come and gone, and there'll be winners. And it's the first one. It's a PWR 700 rated event. So just to let you in on something, everyone, you've got the PWR 50, 100, 200, 400, 700, and then there's 1,000 and 2,000 events. This is only a 700 event, and they've got them walking out like bloody WWE wrestlers, crazy production with
the fog machine
pyrotechnics
going. Yeah, the
Rose Van Reek, she almost copped a firework up the nose. I saw. You've got. I couldn't help but laugh. You got referees like dressed with whatever they want. I saw one with socks and slides. You got one wearing jeans and a button up. Mate, on day one, they were holding a microphone to repeat the score and doing some shout outs to the crowd. One was wearing track pants. It's kind of like they all have a second job they're going to go to after. Like it's a bit bizarre. Like for all the pomp and pageantry, it's a bit all over the shop as well. But I just want to emphasize, this is a 700 rated event. There's 1,000 and 2,000 that theoretically are even more important and bigger than this. And I can't believe like how crazy the production is right now. Like that event in Hong Kong, do you know off the top of your head what that was rated as?
It was a PWR 700.
Okay.
Yeah, so it was the same
it was a
thing,
whole lot different.
That wasn't run by PWR. It was a PWR like associated event run by Hong Kong Tennis and Pickleball Association or something. So that was
which is kind of what like NPL is going to be doing, right? They're running an event that's got this ranking points attached to it.
Yeah, so I don't think I got anything published on social media or anything for winning in Hong Kong.
Yeah.
Compared to India now, it's crazy. This looks like a full-on professional environment.
Yeah, and they got 3 or 4 live streams that are showing it.
It looks it's crazier than what they do in the States right now.
Yeah,
starting it with a bang.
Yeah, production.
I gotta say, maybe change the topic a little bit, which I'm good at. There's probably 3 or 4 Australians I would say, like if you're at the top of my list saying, hey Ty, you can go pick any 3 Australians and you can go out with them for a night, have a few cheeky beers and just hang out with them for the night. A guy that you met is actually on that list. And that was Karl Stefanovic.
Carlos.
He is
what a guy.
The fucking man. I literally know what's going on in the world because I watch the news because of him. Please tell me he was cool in real life.
He was cool.
Okay, good.
Yeah. Well, I mean, he's a very controversial character, isn't he? You either love him or you hate him, I think.
Yeah,
true.
I love him.
But he's in everyday Australia daily life.
Did he shoot the shit with you afterwards? Or like, run us through that little shoot?
Strictly business.
Really?
Yeah, so
Son of a bitch.
Yeah, well, I got invited to join the Today Show just for a pickleball promo. I think it was the Today Show actually asked Pickleball Australia, hey, we want to do a segment on pickleball.
Did they fly you out?
It's exploding. Well, I actually flew straight back from Hong Kong. From the tournament I played, I changed my flight. Instead of landing in Brisbane, I changed it to land in Sydney to go do this gig.
Fuck.
But it was like 4 minutes. 4 minutes of Carlos time. So we set up this court out on the terrace at the Channel 9 studios, and we're there having a hit with some of the producers, getting ready, and then all of a sudden, Carl and Sarah, I think her name was Sarah Arbo, they just come up the stairs, come out, shake our hands, say hello, how you doing? They had a script that had some questions on it. Didn't stick to the script at all. So the night before, I'd been rehearsing my answers in front of the mirror,
You're like,
don't do anything dumb on telly. And they didn't ask that at all. So they asked a question each to myself and Jen from Pickleball Australia, and then Carl just wanted to play pickleball because he plays tennis, he plays padel.
Oh, he does.
He was like, let's just get to it. So he said, screw the questions, let's get on there and play. It was fun.
Right.
And did you run amok on him, or did you just volley and let him feel good?
I was letting them do all the hitting.
Yeah, okay.
Afterwards, my friends were messaging me telling me I should have like
Body-bagged him.
rocketed one at him.
Absolutely.
And see how he reacted.
Uh-huh.
But instead, Carl lobbed one to Sarah, the female host, and she had a nice little air swing. So they got a good clip out of that.
That's good.
But for me, it was just pushing a few dinks back.
Yeah.
And looking good,
Yeah.
You would,
and you were, buddy.
Thank
you
you.
were, mate.
Yeah.
What are you doing
That's
December?
important.
you would understand out of all this,
Still going.
all the podcasts that you probably would have watched of the Slam Jam, you would have saw that I gave you a shout out as social media rock
Social
star.
media, yeah.
This
That means
is
a
a good.
lot.
It's a good transition because I know Adam over there has a few social media rock stars that he's come across over the past few weeks that he wants to give a shout out to. I'll just let him push some buttons.
Well, this is your segment, Colin, but I will jump in on the social media rock star. This is a very heartfelt one, boys. I will share this as a post as well. We had Roman. Roman was obviously over in Vietnam, playing for the Gold Coast Glory, and when he left, he posted a story with himself and a local. And I'll show you here, boys, just so you can get some context. I don't know if you actually saw it, but he actually wrote, "This is my local friend that I made this past week in Ho Tram named Ha. He spoke no English, and we used Google Translate to get to know each other over iced coffee every morning these past 4 days. On the first morning of meeting him, he offered me a ride on his scooter to the tournament, and when I offered to pay him, he adamantly refused. And so Ha gave me a ride every morning to the tournament so that I didn't have to call a taxi or walk for 30 minutes. He then said, even with the language barrier, we developed a friendship that I'll always remember. These are the kind of experiences I find most rewarding. We exchanged info, and I hope that once Ha gets his phone fixed that he'll find me on Facebook so that we can always stay connected." He wrote, "Today was our last morning together, and I was overcome with emotion." I'll say, side note, I've got Ha here with a thumb up. He's got one of Roman's medals around his neck.
Hell yeah.
I overcome with emotion to be leaving this place and this man that I've come to call a friend. As I left, I paid my tab, about $1. And as I got into the car, I slipped him a bag of candy I bought in Japan, along with a bill to show my token of appreciation. Is a bill
That's
$100?
Usually
That's
it's
a bill.
100, yeah. Roman, big baller.
You're right. He had no idea that the cash was behind the bag of candy, so it fell on the floor, and I pointed to it and closed the door. He tried to open the door to give me the fallen money, but I pointed at him and told him it was his. At that moment, we both teared up, and as I sat in my taxi wondering how impactful this man has been on me in my time here, that I was literally brought to tears. I've never been great with goodbyes. I hope that I cross paths again with this man someday.
Wow.
Yeah.
Social media rock star. That's awesome, man.
That was a cool story.
Getting involved with the culture, yeah.
Yeah. And just like so crazy as Australians, I find, and I experienced this in Japan myself, how some people in other countries treat guests versus how we treat each other. Like I was in Japan once and we went up to a local and said, "Do you know where this is?" And they had no English, but they understood and they nodded and they gestured like, "Follow me." And so sure enough, we were like, "Oh, how lucky is this? We're going to the same spot." So we were like watching them every train stop. Not this one, not this one. Finally, it was this one. They got out. We said, "Thank you so much." Literally, I then saw that person walk off thinking they've gone to the same destination. This is great. It just worked out. Nope. They literally walked downstairs, went underground, popped up at the other side. They're catching the train back to where they're going. They literally took us to where we wanted to go. And that just reminded me so much of this story. Like this guy drove 30 minutes on his own scooter with his own fuel, and at the end of it didn't want anything for it. And Roman's just had a great, cultural experience with a local, which I thought was really cool.
Yeah. I have one that's pretty much follows the same lines of that as the Hoff, Wes. He has a post of Vietnam. And I'll be honest, I think we're all a bit guilty. Like when you're on Instagram and you put up a post, it's always like the highlights, like, you're by the beach or it's just showing your best self. But Wes here, he's just really capturing the culture. It's just, Vietnam, shots of the scooters, shots of the marketplaces. It really shows the city. And that's kind of stuff that, like, you don't normally see on social media. So shout out to the Hoff, just throwing up. I think he's got like 18 photos on this little album here that really highlights true Vietnam experience.
My experience was amazing in Vietnam. The people were just so nice everywhere. Maybe because we were foreigners, but just everywhere. They were so unbelievably nice. In Hanoi, at the resort, it was incredible. The driving over there is crazy. They all suck at driving. Well, actually, they're really good, but it's just insane.
It's crazy. I saw
Crazy.
the scooters.
Yeah.
I'd love it over there.
You'd be on the sidewalk with your scooter. Bum, bum, bum,
I'd
bum.
be straight through the middle, straight up the guts. Wouldn't we, Ty?
Yeah, you gotta want it.
Yeah. Gotta
Just
go
gotta
hard.
go.
If you ain't
Gotta go
first, you're
hard.
last.
I got a new segment.
Oh, I was about to wrap us up. But
Let me.
can
I get a quick?
Go. Do you want
one's
a transition?
Yes, it's a quick one.
Slam Jam.
All right, guys. This is the rapid fire segment. So I'm going to give you two choices, and you just tell me.
Willy Chung.
Yeah. Pretty much. That's it. All right, and everyone just be close to the mic and just shout out.
It's for all of us, right?
All right. Yes,
Okay.
everyone.
Okay.
Brad Pitt or Matthew McConaughey?
Matthew
McConaughey.
McConaughey.
Brad Pitt.
Okay. Currumbin courts or KDV courts?
Currumbin.
Holland Park in Brisbane.
KDV.
Bucket hat or baseball hat?
Baseball.
Bucket hat.
Bucket.
Kyle Yates or Mitch Hargraves?
Mitch Hargraves.
Mitch Hargraves.
Hargraves.
Swish or pickleball brackets?
Brackets.
What is Swish?
Oh, shit. Swish all the way.
Hey, on December 7th, I'll show you that.
You'll pay for him and you won't pay you
Good
back.
chance for a promo.
All right, here we go. Tequila or whiskey?
Tequila.
Water.
Whiskey.
Scooter or electric bicycle?
Scooter.
Bike.
I'll go the electric bike.
Vish or Ben Jones?
Okay, first of all,
Fishy.
is it Ben Jones now?
I'm sticking to it. Yeah. Ben Johns. Who you never trust a man with two first names.
Is that Indiana's son?
Don't know. I'm gonna go that you said Vish.
Joey, that took a little longer than I thought, but you got it.
All right.
Straight over the head.
Ice cream cone or ice cream sandwich?
Sandwich.
Sandwich.
Yeah, cone.
Pat and Sticks, if you're listening, this is a great sponsorship opportunity. I love what you put down. Vanilla lace?
Wild, you're gonna have to be Switzerland on this one. Standout or hustle?
Hustle.
Stand out.
Ooh. Will Smith or Denzel Washington?
Denzel.
Will Smith.
Oh, have you got over that? I could never get over that. Denzel all the way.
No, Denzel. Yeah, I forgot about that. Oh my gosh.
How could you forget about it?
What a clown. No, Denzel.
I got two more. Binley courts or Runaway Bay courts?
Fucking backyard.
Bean Lee, surely.
Bean Lee. Purpose built all the way.
You know
Every
what?
time.
I'll be honest. I'll never forget the Binley butt plugs.
Hey, now that there's a
Nobody knows.
challenger, now that there's a challenger series, I have formally submitted our application to get a license for a challenger team.
Perfect.
We're putting the butt plugs up there.
100%.
If you know what I mean.
Who do you want for your captain? Who's captain of the butt plugs?
Someone that's never going to make MLP, but we're going to make them feel like there's a chance.
Yeah.
And his name's Ty Eater all day.
Let's go.
That's scraping the bottom of the barrel.
All right, last one. Katie Hart, Shelby Bates.
Katie.
Katie.
Katie Hart.
All right, up the Aussies. And that is Rapid Fire segment.
Well, Joey, thanks so much for coming in, mate. We hope you enjoyed your experience.
Yeah, it was a great time here. Just
And thanks
shooting
for
it with the boys.
Thanks for just getting off the plane and high talent down.
I feel much better than I expected.
And
You look good.
I can't believe you drank that full bottle of wine with us.
man.
That's crazy.
That's why I'm feeling better than
Send
expected.
you on your way.
Now, I might not see you till December 7th, but I really appreciate you being on a guest on the show.
Better brush up on your Mandarin.
Right?
Ty.
And yeah, that's it, man. No, but best of luck to you, man.
Yeah,
with
absolutely.
Melbourne coming up and
Thank you.
and China and everything else that is ahead for you and your pickleball career, man. You are the man.
Yeah, it's exciting
and-
times.
And we're now Smash fans.
Let's go Smash.
Come on, Smash.
Please pick the Smash tie.
Well, Melbourne Open Friday 8th to Sunday the 10th of November at Frankston Centenary Tennis Club. Good luck, Joey. We wish you all the best. And to everyone listening, thanks for listening to another episode. You'll be seeing us on the next one.
Bye now.